All right. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is 12 Gauge, and this is my channel, 12 Gauge Investigative. This is your first time here. Thank you so much for being here. You know, I decided to go live, not really with a plan, but what the hell? Sometimes that's the best live that you can have, right? I decided to get on here and talk a little bit because that's what I do best. I do the talking rather than reacting. You know what I mean? Because reacting is just not in my nature. I'm very analytical and I think things through for the most part. I'm not easily swayed. And one other thing about 12 is I'm pretty stubborn. If y'all haven't figured that out yet, I'm pretty stubborn. Welcome to 12 Gauge Investigative Podcast on this Tuesday night. I don't know what you guys have going on, but me, I just took a night off from my side hustle because the rain and the wind and everything going on pretty bad here. So I didn't want to really be out and about and all that stuff. So I thought, what the heck? Why don't I just jump on and talk about random stuff? Talk about how life is going in the big city that I live in and some of the things that I've been thinking about throughout. Well, I have somebody in the chat who might be coming up. I know you know who she is. She's been on my lives before. So let's see if she's able to come up. Anyways, the last time that I had this person on, we're discussing the side hustle. The side hustle for me is obviously dashing for that cash. And I've included some other things that are quite fascinating in that world of GIG. If you've never done that type of work, it's not easily for the faint of heart. It really isn't. You have to be very driven and very motivated. Otherwise, you get burnt out pretty quickly. You really do. Me, I'm not burnt. I'm pretty choosy now of what I'll do and what I won't do. So what's going on in the world today? Honestly, I wish I could tell you because my life is so busy. Most of the time, I don't even have a clue. Last night I was talking about Idaho 4, and I noticed that, a lot of other people were talking about that as well with different viewpoints. And even some old people that have been around are coming out of the woodwork. You know what I mean? It's like that case is so dramatic. It's full of drama. And I guess that's why it's so popular. You know what I mean? What's up? Happy birthday, boy. Happy birthday. I bet 21 never felt so good, did it? Let's say happy birthday to Jeff H. Today is Jeff's birthday. I don't know if he wants me to broadcast it, but you know, I'll be back, right? Yeah, I'm glad you showed up because I'm waiting on Nina to get in here so we can actually discuss some things. Happy birthday, Jeff. Yeah, okay. Was it really? Am I that far back? Like, I'm that far behind from your birthday? I didn't know that. Let me put this up for you. All right. There you are.
There I am. I made it. I made it.
What's going on? What's going on?
Just got finished with that dashing.
Well, you know what? That dash life is not for the faint of heart, for real, you know?
I know, boy. They started where I'm at. They started at 5 o'clock, paying an extra $3 a delivery.
Oh, man.
So I couldn't turn that
You
down.
gotta love it when that happens, right?
Yeah, Sunday for about 4 hours, it was $4
Wow.
extra for yeah. I mean, I was going like 6 miles for like $12 and $13, and I was like, and that was for the pickup and the delivery.
Well, you know what else I started doing? I started sparking for Walmart. And
Let me tell you.
people are just like, why are you doing all this stuff if you have a career? And I'm like, you know what? Money is money. You got to get it while the getting's good, right?
You know what people don't realize is you can make good money doing it.
Yeah,
I
you really
mean, it's
can.
not chump change.
But you know what? I realized with the spark is I realized that I am not a shopper. I am not a shopper. Like I spent 45 minutes looking for 10 objects.
See, I prefer the DoorDash because, yeah, you can make like $30, $30 or $40 shopping a huge Walmart order.
Yeah.
And then you got to load it out to the car. Then you got to load it out to the house. You got to shop it and everything. So I would rather just do the Door Dashes where you just pick up the food and go, except for when they send you for tires.
Unless the restaurant seals the bag and they forget something and then the person expects you to go back and get it. You know what I mean?
Oh, see, now they didn't expect me to go back and get it, but today, Burger King and McDonald's, they seal the bags.
Yeah.
They tape them shut to where you ain't getting in it without somebody knowing, okay?
Yeah,
And
there's a lot of restaurants that do that.
yeah, and Sonic, well, I picked up at Sonic today, and the bag was all taped down, and the drink had the cover on the lid and everything, and she brings it out, and I said, okay, you got 3 conies, because you can't look and see, and she's like, yeah, it's all there. So I take it and I deliver it, and immediately the lady says, there's 2 conies missing. And I'm like, you'll have to take it up with Sonic because I'm not allowed to open the bag and check. I can only take their
Yeah.
word for it.
Yeah, exactly. Some people get really nasty too.
Yeah, she
Oh,
wasn't
oh,
real nice.
let me add you a slot, Jeff. That way, there you are.
Hey,
Hey, hey, hey.
hey, Jeff.
Nina, how you doing? Good to see you.
I am doing absolutely fantastic.
You sound like it. You got such a positive vibe going. I love it. I love it. It's good to
I
hear your
do.
voice.
I mean,
Your voice is nice
everything
too,
has
Flo.
fallen into place. I saw
Good,
I saw
good.
you earlier. We were both over there.
Yeah, we were hanging, and then we got the beacon of hope light, the Batman signal in the sky. 12 is live. 12 is live. Let's get out of here.
Wow.
It's like being at a show and like this sucks. You want to go somewhere else, Nina? Yeah, let's get out of here.
Yeah, yeah. We're carpooling over to Gage's.
Right.
You are
Yeah.
like, oh my God, there's a bright light, a beacon in the darkness, right?
Gage
That's
has
right.
picked up the red telephone.
What do y'all think of my new backdrop? I mean, it's a nice little studio look, isn't it?
That's cool. I love the
Are those your
glowing hat.
trophies?
Hmm.
Are those your trophies?
No, they're just one of them the Heisman. I wish one of them the Heisman, one's the national championship, one's the Super Bowl trophy, and obviously my favorite college team. You know, the long.
I love the podcast the way you're doing things.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, it's a whole lot better than, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, you weren't doing anything wrong in the beginning. We were just doing it like everybody else was doing it, you know.
right.
And I like this because you seem more carefree and more relaxed and more like it's okay if I mess up. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I mean, after a while, you come to the conclusion you have to realize it's your show. If people are going to critique it, they're going to critique it for any amount of reasons. You know what I mean?
That's so funny that you said that. When I first started TikTok, when I started going live on TikTok, I would be so nervous that I would be doing, you know, like talking about something that they didn't want to talk about or something like that. And a guy came up on my panel, which I had great respect for, and he was like, Nina, what's that say up in that top left corner? I said,
Right.
Nina Kelly. He said, that's right. This is Nina Kelly's life. You do what Nina Kelly wants. And I was like, oh, I never thought about it like that. But you can't really do that because, I mean, somebody may not want to talk about. But then, like you said, if they don't, they'll come back tomorrow night and maybe hear something they want to hear.
Or they'll quit coming back, whichever. I mean, it doesn't matter one way or the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
that's a good expression. Quit coming back.
yeah, I mean, you know, getting back to the door dashing and the Spark and stuff like that, I was looking for some. I noticed I was looking for canned goods, right? I think it was beans or something. And the first two that I picked up were dented cans, and I thought to myself, would I want somebody to bring me a dented can? So I dug.
Exactly.
Tomatoes.
I
Were they like
dug through that bad boy till I found one that wasn't dented. You know what I mean?
were they crushed
Jeff,
tomatoes?
you do the gig work, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Well, it's been a little while. I'm trying to actually maybe one of you two know. I'm trying to figure out how to get the proper car insurance for doing Instacart deliveries, um, and I'm having some issues. You know, I got a new Geico policy, and I thought that would take care of it. And then when I started talking about Instacart, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna have to put you on, transfer you over to our commercial business, whatever." Um, Insurance line, and it's clearly it's different people. They said they'd call me back the first time I talked to them, and they never did. And so I'm trying to get that sorted out. Um, but
I
I mean,
have
I've been
no
doing
clue.
Instacart for a long time and hadn't even thought about it until just recently. So
Right. Well, Spark, I mean, it took me forever to get on there. It took me almost a month before they approved me
yeah,
because I couldn't get the insurance part done right. My driver's license wouldn't scan correctly, all that crap.
they looked at your driver's license picture and say that this is AI. Come on, give us a real picture.
Yeah, that's not him. That's not him. But you know, it's like DoorDash don't care. It's like, oh, a warm body. Okay, come on.
Right.
Get the food there. We don't care.
Hey, wait, I had a
Right.
question about the cans. Because you know, I mean, for a while there, I was working at Walmart doing
Right.
the shopping in Walmart, which I really miss. I miss that exercise I was getting. But anyway, there were these crushed tomatoes, little tiny cans, and I was amazed at how
Yes.
many of the cans were all crushed all the time. It seemed to be like a constant thing. I don't know why that was. I was just curious if
That
that's
would
what the
be
can was.
That would be the people that loaded the truck. They had a pallet fall over or something, and they probably just crushed the cans and delivered them to Walmart, and Walmart didn't know it, so they had all these crushed cans back there that they got to do something with.
Yeah. Yeah, they stack those pallets real high and then they wrap them in
Yeah,
plastic. Yeah, and it looks like if you were to pop the plastic off, they just fall. Everything would fall right over because it's so high. But oh, I was going to ask you the thing that actually made me click the button to come up live with you because I had to know. So with Spark, now maybe it's not the same everywhere, but around here with Spark, you got a little button that's a little flash button on your app, and it flashes the light on the shelf to let you know where the item is. Is that you use that?
Well, it doesn't flash on mine. It just showed you where the general vicinity is, and I was going crazy with that because you got to count the modules and the rows and all this stuff, and I'm like,
Right.
where the hell is this? Let me ask you, since you used to work at Walmart, let me ask you, have you ever heard of Kirk's soap, like body soap?
No, I've never heard of that.
Kirks.
That's a
never
new
heard
one
of
on
it.
me.
Well, this lady ordered that the other day, and it was supposed to be in the soap aisle, like the body soap aisle. I looked for about 10, 15 minutes. She finally canceled the order on me because everything that she was ordering, they didn't have it.
Huh.
Now, the thing about it is, I bet you anything she didn't push the little button on Walmart.com that says in store. You know what I'm
Yeah, it might
saying?
be
Like
online
when I,
only.
yeah, when I do my Walmart orders to get delivered or pick up, I always make sure that I do in store. That way I know that it's there and not online.
But I bet they're working on bringing it to you where they have because it took like a couple weeks for them to revamp all the shelves where they put these little digital displays next to each item. And so
That's cool.
it's awesome because I could be like on the next aisle over and I'm going towards the next item. I click the flash button, and as I come around the corner, the light's already flashing halfway down the aisle, and I go right to it.
That's
And I don't have
pretty
to.
dang awesome there.
Yeah.
That is nice. That is nice.
Yeah, and they basically
'Cause
had three different colored lights. So if it was a blue light, it was for um, like the person working at Walmart to find. If it was green, it was like a Spark person, and then I think there was a third color that was for people that were stocking the shelves and trying to make sure they put the items in the right place. Which that is the worst thing when you go to the shelf and you're like, it's not here, and then yes, it is. It's behind all this stuff that they have the wrong stuff in front of it. It's like, oh my god. I think you probably experienced it too. You eventually get kind of good at that. You're like, wait a minute, I can figure this out. There it is. Yep, it's behind all this crap.
We have a story in the chat. Walt Harris just said, what about Arctic Fox? And he said he was part of a sting where he was
Oh, I heard about that.
being an online predator to a 14-year-old boy. I have not heard about that.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't believe I didn't text you right away when I saw that. I was watching that this morning before I went to work.
Where was that at?
I don't know where he lives, but yeah, it's basically video of him in his garage talking to police, I guess, right? And he's full of excuses and blaming I guess it was a 14-year-old undercover sting, right?
Mm-hmm.
That they set up on him, and yeah, it's pretty. Oh, it's Arkansas.
Whoa.
that breaks
So
my heart.
how did John know that? How did John know it was him?
I don't know.
I'm just
I
now
just saw a
hearing about it,
YouTuber.
and that just absolutely breaks my heart.
Where I can't remember where I saw Arctic always hanging out at on YouTube.
Oh, that would be now in the beginning, Arctic started with Dago.
Yeah.
Then he went to Doodle
Remember, he
Bros.
had the little he was the little white fox.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Wow.
and that's where I saw him was when I was going up on like Dago's panel. I think we've all done that before, so don't judge. So,
No, I've never been on that dude's panel. No.
but that's where I met Arctic Fox, and then I think I also when I started with Doodlebug, you
Yeah.
know, they do the Arctic Fox and Doodlebug, and them. We're doing the missing.
But you know what? To be fair, everybody's allegedly innocent till proven in court. Okay, let's be honest.
Absolutely, 100%.
You know, if we're gonna do it for one, we got to do it for everybody. You know,
But
allegedly.
the things, he is talking pretty openly about what he is being accused of and making excuses for the things he said to this 14-year-old, the things that he said that the 14-year-old should put in their backside to make, uh, you know,
Whoa,
the act,
whoa,
the
whoa!
love making act hurt less. Cucumber
This sounds
salad
like
was
an
what
EWU body cam podcast or something.
it's It's troubling. It's very troubling. And I tried to listen to it and think from his perspective, okay, he seems to feel like he's done nothing wrong. And I mean, is there a part of people that are really trying to help a 14-year-old with these, these issues, there's, same-sex sexual issues, or is that just
Oh,
like crossing an inappropriate line, which is that's where I'm leaning. I think it's more that than
well,
anything.
let's go. Let's talk about To Catch a Predator. Remember that series with what's his name? Chris Hansen, Dateline,
Yes.
where they used to, go
Oh
to
yeah,
these
yeah, yeah.
houses
The
and
pizza delivery
Yeah.
guy. I remember that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And
Okay.
some of the guys that would come in there would be saying, "Well, I was doing this to help the person. I wanted to make sure they weren't in harm." Blah blah blah. You know, a lot of them were using those kind of excuses.
Right.
So I don't know. Like I said,
It's like it. It's,
I haven't seen it. I'm not going to show it. You know, it's none of my business really. You know what I mean? I'm talking about it because you are talking about it with me. That's part of the podcast. But as far as exposing them like that, I like the dude. You know, the little exposure that I did have with him. But everybody has their vices sometimes.
yeah. I can't remember any of the conversations I ever had with him, so I wish I could. Um, Maybe it would help understand things a little better. But I don't know. Maybe he truly does, in his heart of hearts, mean well or meant well. But yeah, it is very much like it's almost like getting caught with a prostitute in a hotel and like I was just trying to talk her out of doing this business that she's got to straighten up, get a degree, change her life, find a different path. let
Right,
me
right.
let me put my pants back up on here so you know.
Right. That's a good analogy right there. And you're right. I mean, but I don't really have any kind of leniency for anybody to praise on anyone, much less a
Right.
child, a juvenile or whatever.
But
And
I
he
think
was,
there also could be the question in this case though that because it's a sting and that he does say something at one point where he was saying I was trying to get rid of this person, and they kept talking and talking. There could be like when I heard that I thought, well, is this like a little bit of like a flavor of entrapment or it's one I don't
hey
know.
Nina,
It's a tricky thing.
are you on your phone? You want to turn your voice down a little bit because you're echoing. Okay. Well, Jeff, that's an interesting question you brought up there. Is it entrapment at that point? Because think about all those guys that went to that house on that Chris Hansen show. If we're looking on that side of the coin, okay? Think of all those guys that went on that show. How many of them regretted it, but they still went? They didn't do anything inappropriate, but the chat logs proved otherwise, and that was the crime. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Because it does seem to me that it is possible for police to create a sting scenario that might have never ever happened to this person. So here this person feels like, what, this is bizarre. This 14-year-old is asking me things like this.
Yeah.
And here I am starting to engage in conversation with them. Maybe in the beginning truly intending to just want to help them, but now we're getting into some really heated, dicey conversation of the subjects we're talking about. I don't know.
Well, I mean, since each of us have, extensive research on serial killers, I thought of Jeffrey Dahmer right off the bat. Didn't he entice young boys?
Yeah.
Gacy, John Wayne Gacy. Not to say that Arctic was a serial killer or anything, or even in the making. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, to entice someone who has that lack of understanding what they're doing. I mean, do you believe a 14-year-old boy understands exactly what he's doing online? What do you think, Nina?
I to be perfectly honest, I'm still so much in shock. I mean, so if I'm understanding it correctly, he's saying that he was educating, right?
Yeah. Now I don't want to fully represent the whole thing like I understand
Yeah,
it completely,
no,
because
but I
I
mean,
didn't watch it all, but the parts that I saw, he was definitely, he was kind of putting a lot of the blame on the 14-year-old,
right.
shifting the blame to the 14-year-old, and they were
But I
asking him
mean, the thing about it
questions.
is,
And
how do you, okay, if you're sitting there watching the person speak of it himself, then how do you defend that or say it's not true? Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, if I'm sitting there talking about why I did it, how I did it, the reasons I did it, then I did it. I mean, you know.
right. This is why it's like, it probably is very wise to just ask for a lawyer and be silent. It's just like saying, you never regret your hair if you never get a haircut. If you just avoid the whole thing, or if you
Yeah,
don't
that's
want a
true.
haircut,
Well, what
just
is
don't go near a
that? Stay
barber.
clear of.
So
Oh
did
my
they
gosh.
arrest him on camera? I mean, was he arrested on camera?
I'm not even sure. I didn't even get that far.
Oh. How did you know about it?
Jeff's like I'm done with this.
Yeah,
How did y'all
I saw a YouTuber that was talking about it, and then they were talking, and I was like, look, I don't want to hear their commentary. I really want to just see this body cam video. And so I went
right.
and found the body cam video and just started watching a little bit of it, but I didn't have much time. So yeah, it's a little shock
Wow.
factor in that when you kind of know somebody, or
Yeah,
you've
that I guess that's
encountered
where
them.
I'm at. That
Yeah.
because I mean, this is somebody that I've like communicated with off YouTube. You know what I'm
Me,
saying? I mean,
me too. We were talking about
yeah,
missing kids stuff. Yeah.
yeah. I
But
mean,
this kind of
so
thing happens. I remember I used to work in I think it was in Chicago, and there was a guy, you know, one day I'm working with him. It's just a normal day at work. The next day everybody's like, did you see Stan on the news?" I was like, "What? What's up with Stan? Why is he not here at work?" And he was like arrested for having all kinds of child porn and all kinds of just stuff that he was involved with. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is a guy that I worked alongside. You would never ever suspect anything like that.
Of course, that brings up an interesting point, Jeff. It's kind of like saying just because a killer supposedly doesn't know their victims, then that makes them less of a killer.
Right.
I made a point in my video yesterday where I said, how many serial killers do we cross paths with on a daily basis?
very few, none.
I mean, we don't know. That's the thing. We don't know.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, and I mean I think it's safe to say that I think probably all of us are capable of, great good and great evil, and
Right.
it's just the circumstances in the moment and the circumstances that have been, you've been living through since childhood that have formed you into, whatever you become as an adult. Um, and then you get those circumstances, something snaps or something, I mean, it's one thing. I often find myself commenting about, BK as, and his fascination with Ted Bundy, as kind of a Ted Bundy wannabe, and he could have gone his whole life being a Ted Bundy wannabe, but never acting on it. Probably a lot of people that have all kinds of dark, fantasies, but just don't act on them. But once you act on it, now you've really crossed a line that you can't return from.
Well, that point of reference that you just made, acting on it, that's where the empathy comes in for other people. The people that are able to do that without thinking about it, that's where the psychological mishap happens in their brain, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, I often
Well,
think,
Jeff, I have to
especially.
know.
Mhm. Go ahead, Nina.
Oh, I was going to ask a question that's off subject. I'm sorry.
That's fun. That's what this is about.
Yeah,
No
go
real
I got to
topic.
know why Jeff's on a T-shirt.
ahead. Oh, you saw that?
I saw the comment.
Yeah. Um, yeah. No, Birdie. One day. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to mention his name. I was trying not to mention his name. Um, but anyway, he'd gone off on a rant on me a while back, and then he said, he basically said, "Gee, damn it, Jeff." And yeah, next thing I know, it's on a T-shirt and sweatshirt on his merchandise site. So, of course, I
Oh,
criticized them. I criticized them for misspelling the word "damn it," and then the next thing I know, they had corrected it.
That is
so,
too funny. I was like,
so
what the heck? Jeff's on a T-shirt?
would you feel like a celebrity if you saw that in the airport or something? Somebody wearing that, Jeff?
That would be funny. I would assume, if it was definitely, it was definitely from his merchandise site. I would assume that if I went up and complimented them on their shirt, that they would recognize me probably, unless
Yeah.
unless it, maybe a relative got it for them because their name happens to be Jeff, and they thought, oh, this would be funny to
It's
tell
like,
my.
oh my God, you're him. Dude,
Uh,
sign my shirt. Feel like a rock star, right?
yeah, I'm on a
Finally, I get
T-shirt.
to give an autograph. Yes.
What did I say in the chat? I tried to remember what Buzz Lightyear said. I said, "Hey Heidi, hey, I'm on a T-shirt." Remember what he's on a lunchbox? I think that's what he said in the movie. Hey Heidi, hey, I'm on a lunchbox.
Walt says Dago used to have me on a T-shirt until I cropped over Vinnie Politan
Taking super
taking
chats.
super chats. I don't know what that's about, but that seemed to cause a lot of turmoil over there.
Oh, I just saw the chat. I wasn't watching the chat close enough, but Walt said, "Are you talking about Arctic Fox? Just went through a divorce."
Yeah, I can't believe that him and his boyfriend broke up.
Hmm.
You know, the time that I saw Arctic, I saw him right after something about there was that stuff with Illuminati, and I'm not trying to start up any old stuff, but I'm just using it for reference point. Whenever they were talking about, or whenever JB Gunner was talking, making all those homophobic type of direct comments on Dago's show or something, and Arctic was a regular on there, and he came on and he was saying, "Well, I don't approve of, all the comments and stuff." Well, he showed himself on camera, so that's the only time that I've ever seen him on camera. Like y'all say, any other time he's been that little white fox.
Yeah, I would. I don't want to describe him. You can just go look at the video, but I would say he leans a little towards like a nerd you might see in a comic book store,
Really?
which could be a compliment depending on if you like comic books, and But
What do they even? They're called graphic novels now, Jeff. Catch
Oh,
up.
gotcha.
Come on, man. Quit knocking the nerds.
Are you serious?
Yes, they're called graphic novels.
Okay.
That's
I
like
got corrected.
porn stars are called models too, right?
I got corrected for that. I was talking about comic book, and one of my good friends was like, "Bro, they're called graphic novels now."
Graphic novels.
Something like that.
I stand
So,
corrected.
Gage, with Jeff being on panel, what I want to ask him.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, Jeff,
Mm-hmm.
since you know so much about sound and video and everything, can you explain to me how we think as YouTubers that we could possibly hear something on a video, CCTV video or ring camera video,
Mm-hmm.
that the FBI and NASA probably missed?
Oh no. I would say, the best way to hear something really, really well is to have some like $3,000 speakers and the best sound system. And I think the FBI can afford that much easier than most of the
But I mean,
YouTubers I've seen.
I do know from watching so many true crime shows and stuff that even if the FBI can't figure it out, even down to the picture, they will send it to NASA.
So
Well, I
what
think
was-
also too, there's only
Quit
so
being
far
so
you can
general.
go.
Quit being so general. What was supposedly heard that those people?
Well, no, I
wanted
mean,
to-
like the whole, the number one is the cocking of the gun. That we've all figured out what it
We
was.
kind of thought that was gravel, right? The tires or
Right.
something.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, that's still going, that, they're cocking the gun. And then, at 2:27, the scream, and
I
then,
talked about that last night.
but, yeah, but I guess that's what made me think of it, was I went back and I had to watch it on replay. But anyway, I watched probably part of it while I was trying to dash, but I went and watched the whole thing where I could really listen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
right.
but it seems like to me, because there's not anything that I have found in my research that I would be bold enough to say, "Oh, look what the FBI missed." I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
Right. Well, they're already doing that with like, they're better police investigators than the police investigators. Their their skills are far superior to the actual professionals. That's why I always call them professional YouTubers, and I put professional in quotes. I tend to believe the professional.
But
law
I want to
enforcement.
know how you can have this much knowledge and never leave your computer chair. How did that happen? I mean,
That's where
well,
you get
see,
your
that's where
knowledge from.
I'm not making fun of anybody, y'all. I'm not.
no,
making
that's
fun of anybody.
that's always been my stand. Is I am not arrogant enough to say that I can sit on my couch in Alabama and research without seeing the bodies, without seeing the autopsies, without seeing the crime scene, without seeing all the stuff that they have seen. Okay, there's no way that I would be arrogant enough to say, "Look what I did! I solved the case."
But also, I'm not even. We've talked about this multitudes of times. But there's nothing wrong with asking questions. But don't get pissed off because I don't accept the answer that you give.
Right.
You know,
Right. Yeah.
there-
There's no. I don't understand the anger that starts to come up. I mean, if you're getting angry because we disagree, well, maybe get angry with yourself that your skills with influencing someone just aren't as good as you think they are. You haven't convinced me, and we're
You're
still
the
in
one.
disagreement.
Hey, do you ever wonder you're the one person that they try to get the most to change and they can't? Maybe that's what pisses them off so much.
That
You're the
could
one
be.
kid who
Could be.
they're trying to convince to eat the yellow snow, and you won't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Damn
Well,
it.
Jeff, you may
I mean,
you
I
may
can
be on a
pretend.
you may be on a T-shirt, but I got the GOAT award.
Ooh, who get? Oh, with the little statue that he
Yes,
shakes at the
yes,
camera.
What?
Oh,
yes.
I think I saw that. I think I was
What
watching
the
that
hell
another.
am I missing? Like I haven't been on
I did. I
y'all.
got it because I shared the video of the where 1126 where the car got broke into, and she says that she ordered a Ring camera.
The Ring camera. Oh yeah, I
Oh,
was
okay, I
watching.
got
I
you.
was watching that night.
I got
Yeah,
you.
and he was like, "Morning, Label Nina, got the GOAT award."
There you go.
So Jeff got a T-shirt, and
I
I
feel
got the
left
GOAT
out.
award.
I feel left out. You got a damn T-shirt. You get the GOAT award. I I haven't gotten anything that I know of.
Yeah, you gotta hit more chats. You gotta get in there and
Yeah,
take the abuse.
yeah, yeah.
That's a waste of my time. I mean, I'm glad that we have people that enjoy that. But to me, I mean, I can only handle so many people's banter. I've heard it for the last 3 years on that one case. And when they talk about another case, it's the same scenario. This doesn't make sense. You got to question everything. The police suck. Their investigative skills suck. What are they hiding? What won't they show us? I mean, after a while, you gotta ask yourself, well, if the police were that inept and the FBI was that inept, don't you think they would have dissolved all these agencies by now? Or we're just funding these people just to say that they're experts at what they do. You know what I mean?
I just think
But
it's
one
more
thing that
likely
I
that the police. Yeah, go ahead, Nita.
no, the one thing that I can say about what the person we're talking about is like one night he did a video that I totally disagreed with. So I emailed him and told him, I said, "Look, I'm doing a live tonight and I'm using your clip debunking what you said. I just wanted to respectfully let you know." And so he watched it and he came back the next day and he said that was an excellent explanation of it. So I mean, he didn't get mad that I debunked it. He didn't get mad that I used his stuff or anything like that. He actually respected it because I let him know I'm using your stuff and I'm calling you out, basically, but I did it respectfully.
Right,
Right,
right.
right.
And I think that's where the big barrier is coming in, is everybody loses the respect element of it. We can all disagree all day long, but we don't have to do it by being disrespectful.
But how many people have been wrong at all these other crimes? Gabby Petito. Nobody, I mean, it's arrogant to say that a YouTuber solved that case. I mean, because there was a lot of eyes on that case, right? Y'all
Oh, yeah.
remember Gabby? Y'all
Yeah.
remember Summer Wells? Y'all remember all these cases, right? It's a little arrogant to say that only one person had the genuine ability to sift through information and get to the core of the problem, which is finding these people or finding their killers. The thing that I have to say, after 3.5, almost 4 years, all these people that are still asking questions and they have nowhere closer to an answer, what does that say about their
They got
investigative?
they got blinders on to what we know to be the truth. It's already solved, and it's like they can't see it because they choose not to look at it. So they're never going to find it, and they're going to eternally talk about it and eternally have super chats and clicks and likes.
I saw the other day somebody say that Koberger's about to get a new trial. Where did that come from, y'all?
What is that thing that's coming up that they had an acronym for it. It was C something. I can't remember. I heard two different YouTubers talking about it.
Well,
Something.
the big thing right now is everybody saying about the leak and the special prosecutor and everything. But if you do the research, defense after the plea never put in for the special prosecutor.
Yeah.
That because if you'll remember at the hearing, he
But
told
you
him that he.
but you know who appoints all them? The judge.
No, but what it was he gave the state their paperwork and told defense that he was sending them theirs and that it did require, some effort on her part, meaning that she has to approve the special investigation. And so she never put in for it because I guess he pled or whatever. But everybody wants to talk about, I mean, even Steve G and them said, look, we've tried to tell people that we've known about things. If there wasn't leaks, how did they know some of the stuff that they knew? Now, if all of it was accurate, it may not be, but people, they were telling people that they were getting leaks. And he said that nobody has even talked to them or their lawyer or anybody about any kind of leaks or anything.
Well, let me ask you a question, okay? Since I have you on panel, since this is just a podcast, really not presenting anything. Do you feel that the trial that we were cheated by not having a trial? Do y'all feel cheated? I do.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
waiting for that
definitely.
trial.
Yeah, I
Weren't
think
you,
I
Jeff?
think everybody was, and I think that um, it's funny the people that I hear talk about it from the other side. When they're talking about being cheated out of the trial, they're kind of mad at Thompson. But I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, why aren't you mad at Brian himself? I mean, he's the one. It's my understanding he, went asking for the plea. It was going in the opposite direction before that happened, and then you got to ask yourself, why did he do that? And
Right.
you know,
How come people are never upset at him? I mean, it's like he's the one that pled out, right? But it's like a cause and effect. He pled out because something pressured him to do so. Could
I
anybody pressure you to take
yeah,
four
how could you
quadruple
pressure that? There's no way. There's no amount of pressure that that I can even conjure that would make me do that. I don't. That's why I can only see him doing that because he realized, okay, they got me. They don't have everything on me, but they got enough. That's my damn car, 5 times going into a dead end neighborhood at 3 from 3:30 to 4 a.m. What car is going through that same neighborhood that many times? Also, remember that night we looked and we saw the creeping up and down Walenta Hills at a turtle speed, casing the joint, and obviously from based on the time we assumed keeping an eye on Molly. It's like, come on, Molly, would you get out of there so I can? We're back
Yeah.
to DoorDash. We came back all the way around in full circle to DoorDashing, and
Damn it, she was taking her photo, dude. She was taking her photo at 3:59 and 46 seconds, you know? You know
right,
how many
right,
times I almost forget to take that damn photo?
right. There was one
It
time where I didn't take a photo. Actually, no, I think the woman had it planned. When I got there, it was set. Where it's supposed to take a photo. She's at the door already, so she takes the items, and I start to walk away. It's like, oh, I didn't take a photo. Next thing I know, I get a thing that says a customer says you didn't, you never made the delivery. I was like, all right, I'm
oh.
gonna learn from that one.
Oh my God, you're so right. They're so rushing to get that order. Sometimes I'm like, hold on a second, I need to take a photo.
Yeah.
And they're thinking that you're taking a photo of them. I'm like, no, I'm
Well,
getting
I
the
make a joke about it. I was like, "Do you want to be in the picture?" And when they say no, it's like, "Oh, witness protection. I get it. No worries. I'll put the stuff."
right, right. You think, I mean, Molly was lost. So do you think, I mean, this is a sick way to look at this, but do you think they docked her for that? Like, Xana gave her a 1 star and a comment that said she couldn't even follow direction to 1122 or something like that? That would have been
Oh man,
something.
that'd be interesting to know if anything like
Right.
that
That
made
would
it
have, I
out.
mean, Xana's like, man, you spent, what did she say? What did Molly say? Like 25 minutes looking for the place?
Right? Because wasn't there a text where she said, "Are you lost?" Right? Isn't to Molly? I
Yeah,
think.
and DoorDash is on you too. They're like, "Hey, are you lost? Did you find the
Right.
place? Do you need support? Do you need, sometimes you can't even get
See,
out of
that's
that.
what I've wondered if the "Are you lost?" or something like that, if it was one of those DoorDash bucket messages
Yeah.
instead of somebody in the house.
Mm.
Yeah, because after a while, it's like you've taken
Oh
too
yeah,
long to.
once you turn around one or two times, it's like, do you need customer support?
Right.
It does not seem that you are headed in the direction.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was 25 minutes, right, that she was out there?
Right. Especially walking around and everything. See, that's the reason I think that it was like one of those bucket messages from DoorDash saying, "Hey,
I mean,
get your butt in here."
you never saw her shining the flashlight on 1122. It makes you wonder, had she never delivered there before? Because I bought me a flashlight and I'm going to be shining the hell out of their houses looking like a cop.
Right.
I am.
Yeah, I think what it looked to me like, I mean, any light that I could see, it didn't look like she had a bright flashlight. Maybe all she had was the iPhone flashlight, and that's not quite enough
Maybe.
to
Yeah.
light it up. And I know even though a lot of people on YouTube were saying, "Oh, those lights are lit up," it's like there's no lights on those numbers. There's lights
No.
on the underside, facing straight down onto the the sidewalk right in front of the door, but
Yeah.
the numbers are out there on the front overhang.
And
So
getting back to one of your stories that you shared one time, you said when you have light coming at you, you go night blind for a little bit and you can't see. That is so true.
right.
You can't focus on I mean, even if you rode by there, those lights would have blinded you where you couldn't have seen the 1122 in black.
Right. It's my recollection that yeah, my son on a field trip with a night hike, we were camped out there, but they took all the kids' flashlights away and they taught the kids that basically it takes like I think 24 or 28 minutes for your irises to open up all the way and then give you what they call, night vision so you can see really well at night. One flash of a bright light into your eyes and they close down, you got to wait another 28 minutes to get back to where you were. And so, yeah, so she could look into her own flashlight accidentally and boom, now her night vision's kind of gone. And who knows what her vision is like to start with.
And that makes me think of something just now, Jeff. I've never thought of this. What if, here we go with the what ifs. It never said, but what if Koberger had one of those lights on over his hoodie and he blinded
He
the victims with the light while he's stabbing them because you can't see what's coming at you.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of
he
like
had a
a
mouth
cop,
light.
kind of like when a cop pulls you over and he's shining that bright ass flashlight on you. You
Right.
can't see him. You see a silhouette, but you can't really focus, right?
Right. He's definitely got the advantage with the
Of
with the
course, of
eyeballs. Yeah.
I mean, people are like, "Well, how did he get the drop on him so quickly?" Well, there's multiple ways.
Yeah.
So Gage, the video I sent you the other night where it explains the knee and the ruffle and the covers, what do you think about that?
I thought that was very interesting. That was well done. That was very well done.
That
I
girl has some
I caught that
talent.
today.
Yeah,
I mean, because, if you think about it, it's exactly right because there's the void of the blood there. And the way the cover is, crumpled up, it just fits right there with a knee.
well, yeah. I thought that was well done. I mean, it's one of the better animations that I've seen. About the crime
Yeah. I mean, even if you agree with it or not, you have to give her props for her talent.
because yeah, that's how they do the bullet holes. I mean, if you're judging the trajectory of a
Yeah.
bullet, they
Right.
they use those kind of sighting. But I was watching that video a little bit earlier that we did where I said something in that video. I said, people say there wasn't enough blood. And I said, well, there wasn't enough blood for people because most of the blood that was there was unseen to the naked eye.
Right.
When we were talking about the Amido black and the lighting and
Right.
stuff.
Right.
Y'all agree or disagree with that statement today?
Well,
Meaning
the
that
one
it's
thing that
soaked into stuff and was no longer kind of visible to the eye. Is that what you mean? Over time?
Well, I mean, over the 8 hours, like it would have had time to dry or, seep into the wood or whatever.
Right, right.
well, I mean, you consider with the two girls. I mean, okay, we'll just do Maddie because the conflict of if Kaylee was in the bed or not in the bed, because I still I
Where the
firmly
hell would she have
believe,
been at?
huh?
Where would she have been at?
No, I mean, I agree, but I don't. My version in my head is that she was in her room with Murphy and heard Maddie and went into the room to check on Maddie and got attacked when she went in the room. I'm not saying she was up running around or nothing like that. I think she was in her room, and because there's a reason that the wall beside Maddie's little makeup table got cut completely out. There's something, you know, and I think there's actually a picture of it with all the blood and everything of that cutout piece.
I wish the coroner wouldn't have came out and gave all those statements in the beginning, looking back hindsight, because she made some statements that just made people go wild. She said
But
they
I
were
think,
they were all sleeping. That statement right there started everything.
yeah, but you got to consider now it was a fluid investigation at the time.
Well,
You've got the two girls in the bed, which could appear that they're sleeping. You've got Ethan in the bed, which could say he was sleeping. Now Xana, she wasn't in the bed, but But my thing is, even with if you just do with Maddie, that mattress and everything would have soaked up so much of that blood.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what I was
And
saying
if
last
somebody
night.
wants to doubt the blood, look under Xana's bed.
Well, I'm gonna do a live tomorrow on the Idaho 4 with a PowerPoint. Y'all are more than welcome to join me again if y'all want. But it goes more in depth into what you're talking about right now, as far as the mattress absorbing the blood.
Yeah,
And like I said last night, with the K-bar, as you're stabbing, it's not one of those knives that when you pull it out, the blood's gonna squirt everywhere like in the movies. It's not that type of knife, unless
Right.
the
but
heart's still beating.
didn't they say that two of them actually like died from like choking on their internal blood?
Yes, yes.
So I mean that lets you know right there that most of the blood was inside.
Well, I mean, we've seen videos. All of us have been on panels together, and we've seen videos where, we've seen people being stabbed. We've seen people, that one video that I shared that I got dinged by YouTube. Um, it's a matter of seconds. Jeff always references the Ukrainian girl. That's another great example. She
Yeah,
didn't sit
stabbed on the
there and
train. Yeah.
she didn't sit there and last very long after being stabbed in the neck.
Wasn't it 20? It's like 20 seconds, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe it's less. Maybe it's 18 seconds. I measured it. Yeah, she basically just falls right over.
But people don't want to see that kind of logic, and I don't understand why.
You know how they
I
not only
really
don't
don't.
want to they don't want to see it, but I heard there's one woman said, "I don't even see why you're bringing this up." I thought to myself, "Oh my gosh, you can't see the relevance of we're talking about stab victims, and I'm talking about another stab victim."
Right.
Okay, all right.
I mean, that's a great example. I mean, it might not be the same, but she got stabbed in the side of the neck, bled out, fell over. There was no
Yeah,
scream. You didn't hear any scream, did you?
right. I think it was 3 or 4 stabs too. It's not like the number that we're talking about, here. Actually, I was thinking about you this morning because when I was brushing my teeth.
Wow.
I'll explain. But no, my bathroom sink, the hot water faucet leaks, and I haven't gotten around to fixing it yet. So what I do is I just reach under the sink and turn off the
Water, yeah.
spigot there, right? So anyway, I had just been using the hot water. I turned it off, and then I tightened the spigot underneath. And then something in me made me. Oh, I went to do something else, maybe wash my hands. When I turned it, just before I turned it, I remembered that I had shut it off down below, and I thought to myself, "Oh, there's probably still a little pressure, so that it'll still come out." Nothing came out. And instantly, I thought about all the conversations we've had about like the heart beating and the pressure of the blood. And when the heartbeat stops, just like I shut off the valve, shoot, hearts have valves. No pressure. It's just blood sitting in veins, and it's not like it's sitting in there. I mean, maybe I'm no expert, but it's not like it's sitting in there so tight that a cut and it's gonna. I mean, I'm diabetic. When I
Right.
pierce my finger to take my blood test, it's not like it squirts everywhere. You know, it just kind of starts to come out.
Well, everything relaxes in the body, over all the videos and stuff that I've watched on this, the body relaxes within the matter of moment that you die, your body relaxes and then it starts to stiffen up.
Yeah.
So that's a great point. That's a great point that you just made. I mean, but we can reference, and I see people every day debunking stuff, and people always have another quote from some creator that they've heard say certain things that this is like the grade A of investigative people. I saw one today. She made a post, and I read it, and somebody in the comments said, "Oh, you should be a private investigator. You have the best investigative skills or something." And I was like, if that's all it took, why aren't all these people working as private investigators? Why are they on YouTube trying to figure out stuff? Go make some
The
money.
thing is too, I enjoy these conversations with either you when well, we don't agree on everything, and I enjoy
No.
the times we agree. I enjoy the times we disagree, because it's just great conversation. I don't understand people that get so angry and just can't deal and get triggered over somebody that's got a different opinion. Because I love to have conversations like, well, what about this? Okay, well, but what about this? Oh, okay. It's like a tennis match back and forth. But I think
I mean,
go
just
ahead and
like
say
I
something. I forgot what I was
said,
gonna say.
Nina, do you agree that, asking questions, there's nothing wrong with it, but eventually you got to
Oh,
find an answer.
yeah. I mean, I totally agree with Jeff, though. I mean, I mean, y'all know yourself that a lot of the people that I started out with and were accepted by were pro burgers. And I hate that term, but you know what I'm saying. I've always been on the opposite end of it. But because I've always been respectful about the differences of opinion, you know, I mean, harsh reality, he knows how I stand on it. And he and I email back and forth and everything. And, he's very respectful and, you know, stuff like that. And I mean, just like today, he did a video about the black jacket. And I put in the comments, that's not the jacket, that's not the jacket that was in the bushes,
Didn't they say it was a
that's the
vest?
jacket.
I thought I heard that they said it was a vest that they found at the fire hydrant.
How is
Oh, I
that a
don't know.
vest when that had sleeves? I mean, it looked like a pair of pants.
Yeah, I was leaning towards pants. I thought it was pants.
But I mean, even though I put in his comments, because I told about the G saying that Maddie's thing was she loved wearing oversized jackets and oversized hoodies, and that was Kaylee's jacket. I actually have a video of Kaylee wearing that jacket, you know.
Well, I showed the pictures last night that I saw on Christie's page on Facebook.
Right, Chrissy's got the jacket. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But Harsh's video today was why do they have that? It's evidence. Because they think that it's the one that's by the fire hydrant. And I'm like, no, that was found in Kaylee's room. It's Kaylee's jacket. It's just part of Kaylee's stuff.
Right. Right.
But if it would have been evident, they would have tagged and bagged it right away. The officer wouldn't have dropped it back down on the ground.
Now, I
Right.
do have to give credence to that, to a little thing that I do agree with, though. How do they
Okay.
know that that wasn't part of it? I mean, they only looked at it for 3 seconds and they threw it back down. So now, I mean, I have to say, I would have grabbed it, tagged it, and bagged it. If it had something to do with the crime, great. If it didn't, chunk it.
Well, I
But
mean, at the
just
same
by
time,
looking at it for,
how would they have known that Maddie was wearing a black jacket?
I'm just saying that
No,
the
no, no, no,
perpetrator
no.
could have, I'm not saying based on Maddie.
No, but I'm saying, how would the police have known that Maddie was wearing a black jacket?
But
Gather
I'm
that.
not basing it on Maddie. I'm
But
just
you're
saying you
saying
find a
you
black
would have
jacket.
grabbed it. You would have grabbed it for evidence, but what would a random black jacket on a fire hydrant? Why would you grab that if it had no blood, no significance of belonging to one of the victims? You get what I'm saying?
Okay, but and see, this is where we're going to have a conversation here. On a black jacket that is down the steps, just down the steps from a quadruple murder house, okay? There is a black jacket that the perpetrator probably was wearing black. You know what I'm saying? How do you know it's not got blood on it because you just looked at it for 3 seconds?
Well, I got one for you too. Why didn't they gather that hoodie looking thing that I always showed in my lives? Look at this hoodie covered by leaves. Everybody's like, no, no, it's covered by leaves. There's no way that could have been part of the crime. How do they know? How do
So
you know?
what did
You
you think
don't know.
about what did you think about the handwriting on the Maddie Mogan?
The freaking hoodie was closer to the crime scene than the black jacket on the fire hydrant. And that
Okay,
Maddie
well they
Mogan
fucked up.
in the Maddie Mogan writing that you said, it actually did say Maddie Mogan something, but it
It
looked
said
like it
to
said
Maddie Mogan.
Mogan. It looked like it said Mogan dies or something like that, right?
Oh yeah, it was folded so
But
you can see the MA, right? MAD, so it was DIE Mogan, right?
Yeah,
That
DIE
honestly,
was
whose
very
handwriting
interesting.
does it look like?
JLO.
mine.
No, I'm just kidding.
Looks like mine. Looks like yours, Nina. You were in the area.
Yeah,
My
I
thought,
was for
if I
6
could,
weeks.
I can share my thought on that black jacket or black whatever it was at the fire hydrant. I mean, the things that I think of are that, like you're talking about the distance. I mean, that's like a full block away. It's on Taylor, and which is a block from Queen Road. So it's if this fire hydrant was right in front of the murder house, okay, maybe I think they probably should look at it a little more closely. But the fact that it's a block away, it's in the bushes by a fire hydrant. Yes, that could be suspicious. But the thing that we also don't have the benefit of with video that we're watching of them looking at it is the smell. And I mean, if this is something that smells like it's been there for a month or 2 months and is dirty and is pretty clear, like, okay, this is not
Okay, fine, Jeff.
part of
I'll
the
give you that one.
that I would, you know.
I always thought that damn fire hydrant was right in front of 1122. The way they made it sound before I saw the
Yeah, it
video.
basically is.
I
But
like how you
thought,
use that. I like that phrase you just chose because I think that's a proper phrase. The way they made it sound. That sounds very intentional, and I think it often is. It often is.
I really thought. Didn't you think that fire hydrant was right outside the 1122 and that jacket was right on top?
Oh no, the fire hydrant's on Taylor.
I know, but the way the media and everybody
Yeah, a lot
else.
of people thought it was.
Oh, gotcha.
Same with the
But
people walking.
Didn't you see the police officer take the knife out of the jacket and stick it under his? The murder weapon?
Gage, you better behave.
And there
Come
were these,
on.
there were these stick, there were these stick,
that
stick
that
on bushy
statement-
eyebrows.
That statement will go viral tomorrow.
I don't care. Hey, there's been a lot of things said on this crime. I mean, you cannot shy away from what people say. If they can't stand by what they believe, they shouldn't say it. Right?
Okay,
If you
well,
have if you have to backtrack on what you say on YouTube 3 days later, well, you shouldn't be saying it the first time. You should watch what comes out your mouth.
Jeff, as good as you are at sounds and videos, I really need you to make a video about the gravel under the tires.
The cougar
Yeah,
did it.
yeah. It's so difficult to know, like with those sounds. If I can't know almost for certain, I feel like it's not even worth the time. Because there are times where I've thought about doing videos about things like that, and I think, okay, I'm not going to be convinced that it is what it could maybe sound like. But if I put it out there and then others watch it,
Yeah.
and the next thing I know,
Pick your
it
battles.
spreads. Did you hear? He said it's. So
Yeah, pick your
that's
battles.
why, the one video that I keep holding off on, and I don't know what's taking me so long to do it. I should start writing it on paper just so I can see it come together. But that 412 TikTok comment that Xana leaves, that I
Yeah.
think needs to be out there, because I can't tell you how many times I go into the other side's chats and I'll just say, never forget the foundation in the bathtub. See if anybody knows what the heck I'm even talking about. And there's so
Right.
few, and the few that mention they've heard about it, they don't have an understanding of what it's about. And then, and especially since we found, or 12 found the extra comment from Xana's friend that explained, yeah, that's Xana was explaining
Yeah.
makeup foundation that was spilled in the bathtub and was difficult to clean out, or this is something they did as elementary school age, this
Right.
not my
But the
arms
biggest
makeup
thing
challenge.
is showed proof of life, right, Jeff?
Yeah,
Showed
it
that Santa
showed
was alive.
yeah, as you start putting the timeline together, you talked about the time the DoorDash was delivered. We see evidence of the food in the kitchen, so it's very likely maybe she was writing that comment after watching the video, which the video is nothing but old clips of her and probably friends and the neighborhood kids. There's a skateboard shot. There's like, it's put to music. So I'm sure it's the kind of thing. It's like, oh man, that brings back memories of childhood. So you Xana types, never forget the foundation in the bathtub.
Well, think about
412.
this too.
3 minutes later, she's, well, wait, 12.
Yeah, you read my mind. Keep going. You read
Five
my
minutes,
mind.
yeah. 5 minutes later, the sound of her being murdered from that little camera next door, and Murphy freaking out. Oh, speaking of Murphy, when you were talking
Oh,
about when we were talking about whether Kaylee was in her room or not, I used to think Kaylee came across the hall, but here's what I think now, mainly after observing and with my dog and stuff. I think it's more logical to think Kaylee was in the bed with Maddie. Murphy was in the room alone, probably asleep. That's why he didn't react to the death or the killing of Zan of not of Kaylee and Maddie, because he wasn't there. But when you hear, as Dylan described, Doc Martin boots going down the stairs, running down the stairs, I believe that is Koberger's feet in boots going down the stairs chasing Xana, which would cause any dog that's curious to follow along and see what's going on and see the attack and then respond exactly as he does with his barks. That's exactly how my dog barks when me and my wife start to get in an argument and our voices start to raise. He starts barking at us like, "Stop it. I'm getting filled with anxiety here. You guys cut it out." Can you imagine what Murphy saw and the anxiety that would have been in him, at that time?
Well, that's an interesting theory. I can stand behind that. I mean, and also the point that I made last night is most of the dogs, when I deliver the food to their houses, most of the dogs don't bark when I drop when I'll put the food down. I don't drop it or throw it. Let me clarify that. When I place it down, and I hate putting it on the concrete. That just is a pet peeve of mine. I put it on the soda or something. Anyways,
Right.
the dog always barks when I'm walking away. And I've noticed that every time, and I'm like, it's not, it's the bigger dogs that start barking when I'm walking up, but it's the little dogs that bark as you're walking away. And I'm thinking to myself, I wonder if that plays a significance in that. But getting back to the
Hmm.
timeline, you read my mind. If she showed signs of life at 412, when did Koberger and her meet up? You know, with the
Right. Would have been
413,
between
14.
4:12 and 4:17.
Yeah.
That 5-minute window right there. And she's also did a TikTok comment at 3:45. So it
So
sounds like she was on TikTok
that's proof of
before
life.
the
Yeah.
DoorDash order and then after. So it's clearly around that range of time she's on TikTok. Because at 3:45 she types the word queen onto, I believe it's Madeline Moyer's TikTok video. Madeline
Yes,
is dancing in front of a light green wall with a winter cap on. Two
right.
other people in the chat, in the comments, called her queen, referred to her as queen, because I know a lot of pro burgers want to say, "Oh, Queen Road and Queen." She said she typed the word queen. It means something, it's like it means more. I always like to say it means more than it does. No, it means
Just like
what
she
they're
was
really saying is
dying,
it means
just
what we
like
want it to mean.
just like she
It's
was
what?
dying, and she mustered the energy to leave us a clue on the
Right.
white table. It looks like it says Adam.
Just
It
like the
looks like
Ukrainian
it says,
girl did after 3 stab wounds and was gone.
yeah. It looks like it says Jack S. It looks like it says this. It looks like it. Come on
It looks like it says donate to Dago's super chat.
now. I mean, after a while, you feel bad for people who think like that because you're wondering, A, are they being realistic? Or B, are they so lonely that they got to fit into a crowd to go along with what other people are saying just because they have no significance in their own lives? You get what I'm saying? Like,
That's very similar to like the thought that I had when I was leaving a comment today somewhere, and I said, "Man, I hope Koberger one day just opens up, talks about what he did that night, to relieve them of their stress and anxiety that they must be holding because it's like we're never getting to the answer. We can't figure this out. Make it make sense. I would love a good night's sleep." And I said, I just wish Brian would relieve them of their anxiety with this so that they could go, "Oh, shoot. Yep. Okay.
so let
Yep.
me
It's
ask
him."
you, let me
You
ask
know,
both.
you know what's really sad about that, Jeff, is he is relishing in it.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm
He
sure.
he is loving their misery because they're still talking about him.
And you
You
know
know,
what? You know what
and
would have
so
stopped the
and that's
talking?
what's really
That I bet what went through his mind is like they're going to stop talking about me like this if the trial happens, because then they're going to
yeah.
find out all this stuff. As long as there's unanswered questions, they're going to talk about me forever, and I'm going to be
Oh yeah,
bigger, if
that
not
plea deal
already,
was
than
to
Ted
keep him
Bundy.
in total control.
Yeah, they're going to write books about me.
You know, if he comes out and says, yes, I did it, then it's somebody got to him in prison.
Yeah,
They forced him to confess. Okay, so somebody got to him on the street, they got to him in prison, so now he said it twice. I mean, the first time I might entertain that a little bit. But the second time, nah. What did they say? First time, shame on you. Second
yeah,
time,
yeah. Shame on me.
shame on me, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a crazy world. It's a crazy world. So have they found that lady, Nancy?
I don't believe so.
Do you have any theories on that?
I don't know.
I mean,
Just it almost seems at this point that if hopefully what I'm hoping will happen is enough time will go by, whoever did this will let their guard down because so much time has gone by and they'll think they don't have to hide or they don't have to live a life wearing gloves and separating their trash, in the kitchen. Um,
do you think it was the
and
killers from Idaho that went down to
I think it was
Arizona because that is the
I think it was
connection?
Murphy. I think Murphy was acting out.
Hey, you know
Uh,
what? There is a connection there.
yeah,
Phoenix, I mean Arizona, Zana, Idaho. There is a connection there.
yeah. I don't know. What do you think, Dana? I do hope they find her though.
Hell, from the videos I've seen, I thought they found her like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
I finally was like, golly, this is another Idaho 4. I mean, because some of the craziness is out there about it. I mean, I honestly I believe that somebody broke into the house and something went wrong. I don't think the family had, I don't think it was a hired thing. I don't think it was the cartel. I think somebody broke into the house. She called them and something went drastically wrong and they had to get rid of the body.
Do you
So
think that
if it
any
was the
possibility?
cartel, or you think
Let me
because
call.
she flushed $50,000 worth of pills down the toilet?
No, she stole all the semi automatics from the cartel.
How the fuck? Oh Jesus!
They
No, she
parachuted in and
didn't.
landed on the roof.
No,
Clown told me that.
she flushed drug down the toilet.
Do you think I like what Nina was saying? I could get behind that it's a robbery. Is it possible they got inside? They were going to rob her. Either they saw pictures in the house or something and said, "Wait, she's connected to famous people." Or a famous person or whatever. You know, there could be
Right.
pictures of famous people, but because of their being, their daughter, and then thought to themselves, "Oh my gosh, we can get more for her than we can get for the stuff we were planning on stealing from the house."
Right. But I don't think it was any kind of hit job or anything like that. I think that it was somebody that went in there with one intention and came out with a whole different action.
What do you think he's doing with the like the weeds and stuff from the front yard? What's he trying to do there? Because I was trying to figure that out. If he's trying to
Judging the
block the
wind
camera
direction.
as he's trying to remove the camera, I mean, your hand is going to be the best blocker of the camera.
You know how when
Uh,
the kickers throw up grass and watch which way the wind's
yeah.
blowing?
Hmm. So
So
he was watching. He maybe yeah. There's a YouTuber we know that with the flight path of bugs, you can tell what where the crime is happening too, right?
He was
what?
getting the mosquitoes out of his face.
That's what
They
it
were
was.
drawn to the light. They were drawn to the light in his mouth.
I love that comment. She told Adam everything. That's why she was abducted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now, if one of the
I saw
stealers
them
had a
talking.
white car, we're done for.
All I know is the sales of security cameras have probably gone up, at least in the community, the true crime community.
Hey, did y'all see where the couple was doing a photo shoot right there at her house? Like a
Yeah,
modeling photo shoot.
yeah.
What? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
they were. Yeah, he was out there. They were doing like a photo shoot with like their leathers on and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
they were dressed
Had
all
nothing
like.
to do with the case. They were just out there doing a photo shoot.
Wow.
I mean, people really don't respect a lot anymore. It's like, you know, I know I wouldn't be laughing if it was my mama, and I'm not making fun of it. I just don't know what to say about the case. I mean, there's just so much. Like, I think earlier I heard they found a damaged electrical box or something, and I'm like, shouldn't you have
Mm.
found this within the first 5 days? I mean, here we are, day 30 something, and you're barely finding this?
Well, now is that the kind of thing where they knew it, but they didn't? We're just finding out about it. That they do know stuff early on. They just they're. It seems to me like aren't they? They're on just gather everything, gather and document, gather and document,
Yeah.
photograph, gather and document. We don't even know what this means yet, but just take a picture. What's it? Oh, there's like an old Saturday Night Live skit where you ever see that with Bill Murray and Steve Martin? He's like, "What the hell is that?" And they're looking at something. You don't even see what it is. They're looking at the camera. But when Bill Murray says, "Well, get a photo of me with it anyway," that's what it. That's what I was thinking. So they're taking photos, or get a photo of this, get a photo of that anyway, get a photo of that, And
I
what
mean,
about
that's
the? You were
pretty,
talking about the white car. You think it's a Kia Soul? I saw one on the road the other day, and now I imagine I'm going to start seeing Kia Souls the way I do Elantras.
I don't know. I don't know. I just briefly touched that case and kept on going. I was just like, there's not enough information. There's a lot of too much mysteriousness. There's a lot of people being questioned, let go.
Right.
So that should tell you
That's the
that
thing about the Idaho case, like you just said there. There is just enough information that it's interesting, and that there's enough to chew on. Because we can chew on one element and not be even touching other elements of the case. We get to tomorrow on another live, right? You know, we can talk about the traffic light pullover at WSU, and then we got
Yeah.
other traffic stops. We got this. We don't have a lot, but there's enough.
I mean, didn't you think? I mean, were you shocked that honestly we haven't received any more evidence than what we've gotten? You know, as far as the investigative evidence that they were using to build a case against this man. And not everything that we've been shown would have made it into the evidentiary portions of the case. I don't believe a
Right.
lot of it would have. You know, when they said we weren't going to use this anyways, well, nobody believed them. They weren't going to use that. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I haven't really experienced the court process until I started working with it, you know, at my new job. And I see PCAs every day. They're not toilet paper. You know, they're not crap paper.
Right.
They're not fairy tales. They're not opinions. They're not whatever people say about PCAs. They're legitimate factual representation of what the police viewed at the crime scene. It's not made up. It's not fabricated because you're testifying before the court of law that this was a probable cause to arrest the suspect that you arrested.
Right.
And at that point, you're not trying to find them guilty or innocent. People have been trying to find whoever the suspect was since the very first dropping of whatever evidence we got. What was the first evidence that we got in the Idaho case? Do y'all remember?
Was it the gas station? The white photo taken by the gas station employee, which I just saw today. The wider version. There's a wider version of that shot where you can actually see the person with the iPhone taking the picture. I always thought it was a woman. This picture looked like it's a guy, unless it was AI. Somebody took AI and just said, recreate everything, make this photo wider. But it was
I actually have that picture where you can see it better.
where you can see
What?
the guy taking the picture.
Why
It,
haven't we
it,
seen it?
Can you send it to 12 so you can put it up? I
yeah, let
only
me
got
go
a
find
brief
it.
look at it from our friend Birdie. I think that's where I saw it. And I was like, holy
Yeah,
crap, I had never
I'll
seen
be
this.
right back. Let me go find it.
Well, what's interesting too is that, remember 12, we were that still image from the gas station that was one of the first things that went around. Um, we saw from Gray Hughes that photo that had, like, what was it, 4 or 5 of the same car, but just
Yeah,
in progression. He's further away, he's
yeah, I
closer, he's
remember that.
passing by, and we could figure out which one was the moment that the still frame was taken from. But when you view those 4 images of the same car from a distance, the one that was furthest away, I thought, really looked like it had indicators that said Elantra to me, whereas, like, the one that was released, I mean, it could have been a lot of other cars that, as far as I could tell.
Right, right. You're talking about the one closest to the fire hydrant, right? Where the
Um,
still shot, the one that's closest to the fire hydrant, not the
well,
one.
yeah, I don't remember the fire hydrant, but I do remember there was like the vacuum cleaner at the gas station. There was,
Yeah.
it was passing right by the exit for the car wash, and there's a
So
vacuum cleaner that you can pay.
that's the first round of evidence that we got.
Well, I guess there was the stock footage Elantra picture.
Well,
Is
yeah,
that
but I
is that what
mean,
you're
I'm
thinking?
talking about legitimate. The police said, "Well, we got this about the person." I mean, was it? Because I remember hearing that both roommates were downstairs, and then I remember hearing, no, only one roommate was home. The other one was not there. You remember that?
Hmm. No, I don't. I
But
don't
they
have the
definitely
memory
were
of the
saying
very,
that
very
there were
first stuff.
two. they were definitely saying that two roommates were downstairs when the crime happened. And then
I
they
remember the
found out,
very first thing I thought when I heard about this case was like, why is everybody so interested about something that happened over in Russia?
right, right. I was on vacation when I heard about it, and I was like, what the hell is this? Because I was barely getting into true crime. I was still on the Gabby Petito, the
Yeah,
Gabby
yeah.
Potato. Let me put
Yeah,
you
that was
down there.
my. I think Gabby Petito was the first crime-related video I put on my YouTube channel. It was a video of the Bethune's recreational vehicle GoPro camera shot when they captured that shot of Gabby's van, and yeah, it's
Yeah,
on my channel
WSU.
still. It's got like 20,000 views. I was blown away. It's like, oh my gosh! Before that, I had made. If I got over 100 views on anything, I was surprised. And but yeah, when I stabilized it, because everybody was talking about how you can see the van door closing as they're approaching, but when you
Right.
stabilize it, you can see a moment of a figure enter the door, and then the door closes. Like, oh man, it's like this is worth sharing. I put it on my channel, and
Did you hear that WSU mom Kim is back?
yeah, yeah, I was listening to her on Dago on his open discussion, um, except for us
So,
guilters, I
so
guess, that are
what did she
blocked.
have to say? Did she drop any new nuggets? I mean, did she finally come out and give us the goods, or is she still holding back?
I really didn't pay close enough attention to hold on
Uh,
to anything of great
I mean,
worthiness. I
because
know
at this
she
point,
was catching up a young guy that was on the channel.
oh, okay,
I think I described the young guy to you as a time machine younger version of our crap paper friend.
oh yeah, yeah. Where
Yeah.
is Robert these days?
I don't know. Haven't seen him
I
in a
thought his
while.
channel came back for a little bit, and then he went away again.
Yeah. You know who I saw? I saw Rock Chalk actually was doing a live tonight. Um,
Really?
yeah, yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen Rock Chalk in forever.
I mean, it's weird about the algorithm. You don't see certain creators for a long time. I know I unsubscribed to Huda London a long time ago. I think
Yeah.
around the time when you stole her grub
Don't say it
video.
that way, because she'll use that as proof. The way you phrased it.
You know what? I'll never let you live that down, bro. How dare you steal Huda's stuff, man?
It was so funny how she accused me of using her grub truck video when my grub truck video was clearly higher quality, sharper, and full image, as it was, came from the original Twitch stream
She said hers was the
recording.
original. You stole hers.
She said, she said something like, "How dare you, Jeff Height? How dare you, Jeff? How dare you?"
I watched that and I was like, wow, Huda, you really put your timestamp on this. Like this is yours. I mean, that's when people put their watermark on these videos. You can see JLR in the background with somebody else's watermark on top of that.
Right, right. Yeah, it's almost like a box that has like label after label after label stuck on top of it.
Right. Kind of like the long crime. Remember the band? Oh no, that was the first evidence. That was the first evidence. We got the Banfield. Remember we got the Banfield body cam? That was
The
the
band.
first.
Oh, talking
Where
to
Long
the
Crime released it, where Saeed and all them were walking across the Banfield, where they said they made a
yeah.
911 call at 3 a.m. for drunken kids or whatever, disorderly conduct. That was the first
Oh,
evidence that we got.
JLR got that.
Yeah. The one,
Yeah.
and then somebody put no, Long Crime had
Well, Long
their
Crime had it
own,
first, and
and then
JLR.
JLR put his, and then
Well,
I've seen
JLR I think got it, and it was unblurred in areas where the first one was blurred. I think,
yeah,
if my memory is right,
and then
or
I saw
as to
then I
phrase
saw
it like Brett
Polly.
Payne, because I like to phrase it like Brett Payne just to irritate any pro burgers, but I'll say if memory serves. You know, I also like to say pretty much because I know that
Why?
gets to him too. Huh?
Why
Pretty
do you
much
like to say? Why
because
do you like
that was
to
a
say
phrase that Dylan said a lot. But if you listen to a lot of the other interviews of those people, the friends and everything, pretty much I think is
like a
you
new
know
college slang?
others said that. It's almost like too. I remember back a long time ago, I had cousins in Rhode Island where they said "wicked neat." Wicked neat was a phrase that everybody was using. It's like, oh man, that's wicked neat.
Right. I agree with you, Carl. I agree with that 100%, man. That watermark stuff is ridiculous because you see clearly like Law and Crime on the bottom, and then you see the creator put their watermark all across. You're
Right.
like, whoa. So what are we looking at here, Jeff? I don't see
I don't
anything
this
different.
you know Nina. This looks like the same shot. The one I saw was much wider. I mean, you could see the room that he's sitting in, and you could see the top of his head and his hair. Um,
Yeah, there she
yeah,
is.
maybe she was showing that as just an example.
What are we looking at, Nina?
Okay, is that not the one that y'all are talking about?
No, it was much wider. You could see the guy's hair. You could see the room he's sitting in.
Oh no, I haven't seen that one.
Let me see if I
See,
can
because
find
that was the one I was talking about. Because see, the one that first came out, you couldn't really see the iPhone and everything that plain.
Oh
But
wait, here you go. I think I found
I
it.
did send Gage a video that I'm
Is that,
hoping y'all can help explain something.
is that a green iPhone?
I think I mean it's green.
Well, if the iPhone is green, wouldn't the fucking launcher be green? I mean, I'm not gonna go there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, that's the iPhone in the reflection of the window, isn't it, Jeff?
I know, but if the
No,
car was
it's
green, it would have washed it out, right?
it's a reflection. What we're looking at is a mirrored image reflection from the computer screen where he
Oh,
paused the video on that frame, took a picture of it with his phone, and you see him in the reflection of the computer screen.
oh, okay.
So, what's the conspiracy about this video or photo?
Now I just snapped I snapped a screenshot. I can share. I should be able to share with you here. That
Email that to me.
shows.
Or are
Um,
you gonna present it? You gonna share it?
I don't know. You know, I switched back to the free version of StreamYard, so I don't know how much I can do because I wasn't really using StreamYard and I was paying for it. So, oh, I can still share. Um,
Okay, go ahead and show it.
we
Yeah, I'm
share.
glad you guys are safe.
We
The
share.
ones of you that are experiencing those tornadoes, man. I hear a lot of bad ones went through Oklahoma and Indiana, like you said. It's tornado season for reals. Man, we keep swapping seats up here.
There you go.
Oh,
So I don't know if that's legit or if that's AI that has filled in the rest. So I can't vouch for that being real.
you know who that
But I
is?
thought it was interesting.
That's that same dude that recorded the video. What was that dude's name? That everybody had that video. Um, that
What the guy
everybody
talking
thought it
into the
was.
laptop?
Yeah, that thought it was Cobra
Um,
there.
I know who you're talking about.
What do you
Yeah,
think?
everybody thought it was BK.
Yeah, what do you think about that, Nina? This photo, you think it's real?
You're talking about John Scott, Josco.
Yeah, Josco.
Yeah.
Now, see, to me, that looks like a girl because of her arm.
Well, maybe it is because I that's what I had heard that it was a store manager or employee that was a
Because
female.
it looks
That's
like
what
she
I.
doesn't have, it looks like she's got a really small arm.
How the hell is she taking a picture of a screen when you can see the back of the store with
Because
the
she's got the camera facing
Like pointing
the,
into a mirror, basically.
it's like the TV
But she
screen.
didn't catch this live. I mean, I thought she caught the car going by
No,
live.
she went back and watched the videos.
Yeah, she watched hours of footage on the
Yeah,
cameras
to
for
see
the
if she
gas
saw
station.
anything.
Okay. So who got this photo? How did people get this photo?
Let me see if he mentions it when he shows it here.
It's amazing people coming up with all this stuff out of the woodwork, you know, Nina? Does that look like an Elantra to you? I swear up and down there's a gnome in the back seat. I showed y'all once.
So the video that I sent you, did you get it?
The one with the question marks? Yeah, I got it.
Yes. Did you watch it?
Hold on, I gotta download it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he doesn't mention anything about the, where this photo came from. He does ask everybody, like,
I think
has
the
anybody else
police
seen
put this. I mean, law enforcement put this out, didn't they?
I just took a screenshot off of his live, so
Yeah.
I don't,
No, I mean as far as when it first came out.
Yeah, but they didn't put it was cropped. It wasn't, you couldn't see the
Right.
person. Yeah.
Where'd you get this?
Hang on, just watch. Just watch.
Is that Coburger?
Now this is some of those things that make you say, "What the hell? What's going on?"
Well, Kaylee's Range Rover is still there. All the cars are still there.
Yeah,
And it's
just
snowing.
wait. Just wait. So he got a set of keys.
That looks like Coburger, bro.
No. But who is that, and why are they getting in a murdered kid's car?
Oh, is this when they took the vehicles to the impound lot?
Could be. That was interesting, Nina. That was interesting to say the least. God, we could do.
So do you know where I got that? Props to JLR. Y'all need to go all the way back to the beginning of JLR covering this, especially when he was out there. He is actually out there filming this.
Wow.
Did you ever see the JLR live, or well, maybe it's a video? He's walking around down in the area where the grub truck was. He's talking about a guy that worked at the where did one of the two of the victims worked at the Mad Greek.
Mad Greek.
He's talking about the Mad Greek. There was a guy that he was talking about that had a criminal record, apparently, that worked at the Mad Greek. Had actually done a robbery somewhere. It had got a little bit violent. JLR's talking about this dude. I looked up. I think maybe he showed a picture of him. And I don't know if it was the same night, but he's walking in a back alley behind the Mad Greek, and the dude that looks exactly like the guy who was talking about is smoking a cigarette behind the Mad Greek. And JLR just kind of is walking past him. I mean, it could have been one of those situations where JLR was attacked right there. The dude could have said, "I heard what you said about me on YouTube," But yeah,
I mean, if you go way back, JLR's got some good stuff. I mean, when he was out there, and a lot of the stuff that he dug up, it's pretty interesting. That's where I got a lot of the information about the asbestos and everything in the house.
The first time I watched his videos was when he was walking around looking in the drain on Taylor Avenue. He's like,
"Yeah,
well, look at these drains.
There.
Somebody could have thrown."
Oh yeah, with the little water building.
Yeah.
And then I think I watched one where a guy was running him off or something.
Oh yeah, he had to call. The police came and arrested that guy, right?
Yeah,
yeah. With the flag on the truck and everything.
Right. Yeah. And now what's interesting is when I was in Moscow, one of the girls that worked at a Sinclair there, she knew one of the security people that they hired to sit at the house, and she would take the guy coffee.
Hmm.
And
You
she
know
never
what's
got to
crazy?
go in the she never
You know
got to go in the house or anything, but I was like, well, dang.
You know what's crazy? I'm going to say this. I'm going to ask you a question. JLR and all them people that were out there, Olivia, they were out there and Brian was still free,
I'll be right back, but I can hear you.
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Take it easy, Crawl. Well, let me ask you this question, okay? Um, damn, that question just left me.
And I
You were
didn't
talking-
interrupt.
No, what do you think those guys that went in and came out with those brown paper bags that looked like cowboys? What do you think they
Yeah.
brought out? What do you think they brought out?
Um,
It was evidence, but what do you think it was?
that's a
I
hard
think
one.
it was
I had
Xana's.
never.
It was Xana's uneaten French fries. I think they were like, there was one guy who was like, "Dude, if you're not gonna eat them, I'll eat them." No, I'm just kidding. It's too soon. Sorry. You know people like that though, right? They're like, "I'll eat that." What the heck?
It's the 5-day rule, not the 5-minute rule.
It 5-year
Not
rule
five.
for some.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't y'all ever wonder what it was? Because those were some big ass bags.
Are you talking about where they like go under the
The tape.
like when they get in the van?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Brian,
what?
did you just
So do y'all think it was U.S. Marshals or FBI?
I think those were marshals.
I think they were Marshals too.
I mean,
Now,
people
here's
that
my question:
said that they
Is
went
when
in
did
and
this
got.
become? When did everything start getting redacted because of national security?
I
When
always
did that
thought, and
start?
people shut me down with this, but I've always thought that Brian was committing a federal crime somehow, either tapping into the internet, watching the girl through the laptop, something. There was some kind of federal crime that was being committed for the FBI to be as deep as they were in on it.
Do you think with
Well, I
the
mean,
guys with the I was just saying, with the guys with cowboy hats, is there any possibility? I
Texas
was wondering if they
Rangers.
could be from now the people in Pennsylvania that are connected, the investigators connected with this case, would they ever at any point in a situation like this, would they ever want to see? They're connected to a crime that happened all the way across the country, but would they ever send people from Pennsylvania over across just to, with your experience, 12 is like, would that be unheard of or unnecessary to
I mean,
have a
I
representative
would
actually
believe
see
that.
the crime scene?
I mean, they wrote a PCA as well, right? There was a Pennsylvania PCA, correct? That's the one we saw.
Yeah. They had to write their own.
That's the one we saw before Idaho's one. So
Right.
they very well could have had their own investigators out there looking for different type of evidence. They could have found something and went back, got the team, and went back and got it in the dead of night because they didn't want it to be seen. They didn't want to be photographed, whatever, because they were in and out pretty quick.
Well, you've seen the video of the Monroe County District Attorney where he talks about the um, investigation into other crimes and stuff. Have you seen that?
Yeah. I believe
And
Brian was involved in some federal shit.
well, he makes the statement, and this is what I've never been able to get people to catch on to, is his statement is that they sent everything to the grand jury. And the grand jury had to approve sending the information to Idaho. Now, if you find nothing, there's nothing to send.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And he makes the statement, I cannot talk about it because it's an ongoing case.
Yeah, there's FOIA requests that I've sent out for other cases that they they give you the runaround.
But I mean, I've got a little 30-second video of that where he makes the statement that he can't discuss it, and the grand jury, and that they sent all the information to Idaho.
You remember that officer that they interviewed at the very beginning? He was an older guy, and they interviewed him and they said, "Well, can you discuss anything?" This was before the gag order. And they said, "Can you discuss anything on camera or what they're investigating?" He said, "I can't talk specifically, but when you hear what happened, it's going to blow your socks off." He said something to that effect. And I always wondered what the hell he meant by that. Now I know, you know. Do y'all's families think you're crazy for your fascination with a crime that has nothing to do with you?
Yeah,
Yeah?
definitely. Yeah, my daughter doesn't want to hear me mention, hey, look, Elantra, as we're going down the road. Hey, that's an Elantra. Hey, look, hey, 11 to 13 right there, Elantra. You can tell.
God, I saw one the other day and I almost took a picture of it and I was like, "You're
Enough.
driving, you're driving." It was mint condition too. It was white. It had just been washed. It was gleaming. It was like newer one. What was it again to differentiate the 15 from the
Yeah,
13?
the little red reflectors on the back bumper. In
Okay.
the 11 to 13, they're closer together to each other, and on the 14 to 16, they're further out towards the edge of the bumper.
So let me ask you a question that's never been asked. Do you believe that Koberger put that bug guard on after they released the stock photo of the Elantra they were looking for?
Well, that can be proven because, oh my gosh, if
But it's
anybody
not on
can
the
get a hold
Costco
of
video,
the,
right? The
well, that, yeah, it's
eyewitness.
on that one. But if you can get a hold of the Dateline episode that got took down, if anybody recorded it, they
Well, I
have
mean, it's not, but
pictures.
it's not on the. It's not the bug guard isn't
It's
seen
not.
on the
It's not. Jeff and I
Costco
looked.
or the Albertsons.
Oh, it's
But
not
so
on the
that
Costco.
no, no, that he definitely didn't have it when he
Well, why are
was.
they even doubting that then?
Something to talk about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's clearly
Rescue.
also too didn't there, he had taken pictures of his car around the time he
Yeah, that's
switched
where
his
I was
license
going with
plate, right?
that.
And
Is
it
on the
didn't.
Dateline episode, they have pictures that he, because I asked Gage if he had them,
I sent them to
but
Jeff.
they have pictures of before he let, as he was getting ready to leave Pennsylvania. He took pictures at home, but then they showed pictures of, I guess, his car sitting after it had snowed at his apartment,
Yeah, I
and
sent.
Dateline showed all of them.
What do y'all think they came up with the investigation into who leaked all that?
There is no investigation.
They just drop it?
Yeah, yeah. That there's no special prosecutor. No special no special prosecutor has been assigned to investigate all that. Nobody.
Oh, that's what you were talking about.
Yeah, defense did not put in for it. Check me on AI.
Catch me outside.
You know,
Hey, 12. I think you
everybody
have
wants.
a there's a Mandela effect going on with what the cowboys that with the cats. Because I was looking, I couldn't remember them carrying anything big out. I've got the video here if you want to show a clip of it.
Bullshit, Jeff.
See, because I didn't remember them carrying anything.
Bro, that one cowboy was carrying a huge ass grocery looking
I got
bag.
it. I got it backstage if you want to see it. I think you might be
Hold on,
thinking of
I'm looking for what
another
Nina
time.
asked me for. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Can't you do
I got
231?
no. I sent those to you. I know I have them here.
Oh, that's cool. This must be a new thing on StreamYard. I can have a an image file and a YouTube video backstage ready to go for you.
Yeah, you were
Look at
always
That's new. I don't. Oops.
you and Nina were the freaking thesaurus with the information. Here it is, right here.
And look, Jeff,
Let me put mine. Let me put
I
mine
have a
up first, and
question.
then we'll put yours. Hold on.
You show me yours and I'll show you mine.
All right,
Well,
mine's
I have a
bigger.
question for both of you. With the case being over, have you deleted all the information?
No.
No.
All my
Deleted,
research
like,
is I still have every bit of it.
You see those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not a bug guard on them.
No bug guard.
So, yeah, so is there fog lights or is there not?
It's hard to tell.
I don't see any fog
Looks
lights
kind of.
in this one.
Looks kind of. They look. It looks like black. The black inserts in there
Yeah, see,
would say
because,
no
the
fog lights.
black, in
See,
the one where
this
they've
one
got
right
his
here.
car in the
This one right here shows that there wasn't a bug guard.
right.
And this one. This is the emblem.
So,
of
yeah,
the-
he did everything possible to change
Y'all
it out.
remember this car?
He should have painted it green.
You
That's
should-
Mark B's. That's Mark B's green Elantra.
Remember this one, Jeff?
Yeah.
Hold on. Who's next? Go ahead and what were we gonna watch?
Yeah. The.
Proven that nobody carried anything out.
Whoops.
Oh, you're. Thank you, Lucy, for agreeing with me there. The
All right,
bag they
there's-
carry out. They did carry something out.
I don't see anything in their hands though.
Hold
I'm
on,
gonna have
Jeff.
to-
That one cowboy has one. Watch. He turns the camera around, and this one guy walks out carrying something.
Okay, maybe I didn't. It's one last straggler.
Right.
Still waiting.
Oh, come on, man.
They're gone.
Bro,
I
there
think
was
the
a
video
cowboy that, oh man,
repeats.
there was a cowboy that came out with a big ass grocery bag. It was before this though, he came out.
But then where is it when they're getting in their car?
I don't know, bro. This guy like
They were like, just drop it by the house. We'll get it later. We're on camera. We're on camera. Wait, let me see. There is some clips where they show them inside the
Bro.
house. Maybe you remember something from inside the house or something. But I don't think so.
Maybe he's carrying the bag inside the house? No, because he came out and it looked like that grocery bag was leaking something. People made a big deal out of that.
Tonight's
Lucy said,
episode is brought to you by Mandela Effect.
We're
It's a,
experiencing the Mandela
it's a Mandela
effect.
Effect, just like Ann Taylor putting her hand on Brian's shoulder. Mandela
Luke,
Effect.
I am your father. No, I am your father. He did say, Luke, I am your father.
So, but this was a clip you were thinking of, right? Because this is the only one I know
Yeah.
of that people refer to as the cowboy hat visit.
Yeah,
to the house.
exactly.
But maybe it
that's
is
the one.
somebody else. There is somebody that had like a rectangular case, I thought, of some sort. Could that be what you were thinking of?
Wait. I know what you're talking about. There's a guy, they are loading the U-Haul.
No.
They're loading, yes, they're loading the U.
No. It was this night.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I didn't edit it.
Mandela
I didn't scrub
Mandela
it.
strikes again. That's the man right there. See, Lucy recalls it too. Large paper bag or two. That's what I recall. See, we're experiencing the Mandela effect right now. I don't know. I did see it. I remember seeing it because the reporter was asking him a question and he was trying to get by the reporter, almost fell carrying that big ass bag.
Hmm. I
And
I
it,
I feel like I kind of know what you might be talking about. But I'm not positive. Here, I'll search around. I'll search around.
you know what I need to do? I need to call the bugs that were flying in that area that day and ask them what
Talk
they
to the
saw.
bugs. Yeah.
Or get in touch with the cougar, Cougar might know. So right there, they're walking into Xana's room. Are they not? Wouldn't you
It
assume?
seems like, yeah, it sure seems like they're going in the direction of Xana's room for sure. To the left of the ping pong table or the beer pong
Isn't
table.
that Xana's room right there?
Um, well, that window isn't Xana's room. That window's his living room. But they're
Yeah.
heading towards that first window. I'm not sure. They're not showing. I assume that's on the same level. If it is, that would be Xana's room. But it's such a tight shot. I can't say for sure. It probably was Xana's room. Yeah.
Well, thanks for finding the video. I stand to be corrected, but I could have swore there was paper bags that were carried out. Maybe they were hungry, so they went in to make some ramen. Oh, very good point. Maybe they were bringing out the rest of the food that was in the refrigerator that could have spoiled. What do you think,
You know,
Jim?
I still say with this case, it's there's two ways of like arguing or discussing this case. It seems to me, it's like you can discuss it focused on the court proceedings. I don't know that the court is a system. It's a system to help at it, do its best to give people a fair trial. But then there's others like me that prefer to discuss this with knowledge of what the court system is doing, but actually just talking about it as real people is what we think happened outside of the court, system. Because I'm not interested in what he can get away with based on court rules. That doesn't interest me as much. It really doesn't. I mean, that's very interesting to a point, but as I'm trying to figure out what I believe most likely happened that night, um, it's
So
not
I'm going to put you
considering
on
the
the
things that he
spot.
can get
I'm
away
going to
with.
put you on the spot. You got enough information at this point. Walk
Hmm.
me through the moment he walked through the slider. Give me your best scenario. Don't stop. Don't second guess yourself.
Sure, sure. Yeah, no, so
Go,
I think, yeah, I'll just riff.
go ahead.
But no, I think we saw that night we were looking at the footage, we can see him creeping up and down Walenta Hill. He's keeping an eye on Molly, I think, because as soon as she leaves, then he comes into that area, and his behavior is much different. He's doing U-turns in front of the camera. Um, One thing that you can note is that of the 5 times he passes the Linda Lane camera, the last pass at 407, he's traveling at a much faster speed than all the others, and he's heading in the direction of the back of the house. That's 407 in 30 seconds. I think he gets in the house, maybe I'll give him say 409. What do you think? Minute and a half to to park the car, and I think he parked the car in the back with it pointed, um, on that little street between the murder house and the Queen Road Apartments. I think he's parked right there. That side of the house has no windows, so I think that's where he would probably want to try and park. I don't know that he would double park, and sit there in not a parking space, but maybe might have
Okay,
sat there.
he's in the
So now he's
slider.
in the house. So now he goes in the house, goes in the slider. Now maybe in one of the passes earlier, he with binoculars or something could see that the little lever, the little white lever that lets you know if the sliding glass door is locked or unlocked. He would know that it's unlocked, right? So he could park the car, goes in through the slider. If what he has desired all this time is something he saw in Maddie's window, when you go in that kitchen, the only thing on his mind, I think, is I got to get to the floor above me because I'm on the floor below what I saw in the window that I want. So he goes upstairs. The only thing that when he's going up the stairs, he got to not do what a lot of us did is get turned around like which bedroom is it that I saw, when I get to the top of the stairs. And so Even now, I'm getting a little confused. It's not the
Let me
first one,
stop
it's the
you.
second
Let
one,
me
right?
stop you right there because I have a
Yeah.
question for you. At this point, how come he didn't wake up Murphy? Because y'all said Murphy was probably asleep. How did he not wake up Murphy going up those steps? Those steps look like they creaked, right?
Right.
How did he not wake up the dog at that point? How come the dog
Well,
didn't
I
start
think a
barking?
dog I think a dog in a party house is not going to be like my dog. My dog hears the slightest sound and he's like, "What's going on? I got to investigate." But a dog in a party house is probably hearing all kinds of footsteps and people and yelling and screaming and singing and dancing and
Okay, fair
so
enough.
so I
Fair
think
enough.
I think Murphy just is in the room. He walk so refresh my memory now. He's going
He's going to the right.
when he goes
He
up the
goes up
first
the
flight of
stairs,
stairs.
turns to the
Fir-
left, goes
first
up
flight
the
of first flight of stairs, he's facing towards the back parking lot, right? Then he makes a U-turn going up
right,
the second flight of stairs. Now he is facing
the
Queen
front of the
Road.
house. Yeah.
So that puts so that's right. So that puts Maddie's room to the right. He's not going to go to the first bedroom on the left. That's Kaylee's. He goes in there. Um, I'm kind of in agreement with what that woman that put out that amazing 3D um, video. I think he went in there is I hadn't really pictured him on the bed before, but that makes sense. I could see that. You're gonna keep them pinned down by being on top of them right there. And who knows if it's not a sexual crime, but if it's sexual fantasy
Well,
fulfilling,
yeah,
so he's
it's a
stabbing them, right?
personal. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
personal criminal.
So he's in that position, they're very vulnerable. If he's got a light on his head to blind them too, yeah. I mean, I remember in the beginning of this whole case, I thought maybe he used some kind of night vision or something like in Silence of the Lambs, and because like I kept thinking to myself, how could he kill four people and them not see and react and you know,
I
um,
thought the same
but
thing. Yeah.
their first reaction, I'm sure, is like, who's kidding around? It's what do you? Who's get off our bed? It's like the element of surprise is definitely with him, and before they know what's going on, it's too late. So. Um, and then I think Xana hears a little bit of what's going on upstairs and wonders what's going on
So,
and
about
goes
what time
upstairs.
frame do you think that is?
So if he's in the house at 4:09, DoorDash was delivered at what?
3:59. Yeah.
3:59. Okay.
She's still on TikTok at 4:12. So she
So she
either
must be in she
took the
clearly
food
must be in her
into the
room.
kitchen. Yeah, she either took the food into the kitchen or she took the food into the room. It was cold. She got up to
Because there's a
go
cabinet
heat
door
her up,
open, right? Which indicates she probably grabbed a plate to put it on, probably microwaved it, went to the room. Um,
and that's when the attacks happened.
and then she hears some commotion coming from upstairs, and maybe she doesn't know what's going on upstairs, but she says there's someone here. And see, the way that is said is kind of important, but I don't know that we know that for sure. Was it a yell? Was it a scream? Was it a I think there's someone here, I'm going to go check it out, was it
Well,
not
she
such a
said
scream?
that loud enough for Dylan to hear it.
Yeah.
How could the
But I
killer
mean, it
not?
could she be going up the stairs and she's like, I think there's somebody here or someone's here, and basically just going to check it out. So it's not like something that Dylan would have heard and thought, "Oh my gosh, she sounded scared for her life," you know. So I think she said, "There's someone here." She went up there, saw, and then thought, maybe the thought that runs through your head is, "Holy crap! What did I can't believe what I just saw." Maybe he didn't see me, so I'm not going to yell and scream because I always wondered, like, why didn't you yell and scream? Maybe her thought was like, maybe she can't even breathe. Maybe she can't speak, can't yell, can't do anything. All she knows is she's got to run downstairs, lock the door, and get to Ethan for safety. And she didn't
Well,
make
you
it.
don't
She didn't
think
make
he
it all the way there.
slashed her or stabbed her?
I
You
don't
don't think
know. I don't think.
you
I
don't
don't. I
think
think he
that's
was
why
chasing
some of
her.
that blood got on the side of the railing?
Was any of Xana's blood on the third floor? I don't think so.
It never said. They never said. But we did see some blood spatter dripping down the walls. So either that came from the killer or that came from her being slashed or stabbed one time as he was running after her. I mean, I give her kudos for making it down those damn narrow ass steps. I would have tripped.
And we always talked about, remember that there's that little step up into the living room. Maybe
Yeah,
Brian did trip as he went up. But,
yeah,
you
that's a
know,
possibility.
and it's possible that, maybe, Xana would have known to go to the left of the ping pong, of the beer pong table. Brian might not have caught that, and he might have gone around to the right, which would have had him running alongside of that half wall above right at the stairs from the first floor. That could easily be why some of the blood from Kaylee ended up where it did, as he's running after Xana. And I think he probably tackles Xana to the floor or knocks her into the wall. I mean, you can hear it on the camera from the neighboring house. It's part of me is wondering if is that thrown into the wall? Is she stabbed a bunch of times? Knocked into the wall, stabbed a bunch of times. Does he see Ethan there and then jump on Ethan and take care of Ethan right away? Does he come back to Xana? Maybe she's not completely gone and says it's okay. I'm going to help you in a just a weird
When I was listening to
serial
the
killer type of voice.
yeah, when I was listening to the Chaos Sector and they were playing that video, I actually could hear what they were saying. I don't know if it was suggestive or I actually heard it, but I've never heard that before. You know what I mean?
I can't
Where you
imagine you
can,
would hear him say that through the wall
well,
and then pick up by the camera.
you couldn't hear him say that, but you did hear a deeper sounding voice.
So
That's
somebody was
that,
mumbly
yeah,
talking through, its sound coming through. Yeah, maybe so.
it's a deeper sounding voice, and then you hear whimpering, then you hear the thud, and then you hear the dog barking almost simultaneously.
But think about it too. That's at 4:17. The dog is barking. Now he's still got till just before 4:21 before he's seen driving off. So what is he doing from 4:17 to say 4:19?
That's
Is
your
this where
cue,
he's
Nina.
doing? Is this where he's doing what? Was it Kaylee's sister
Mitigation.
that said the experimental cutting or the overkilling or I
I
mean, is it
think
the
from
kind of?
four, I
Hmm?
think the 2 minutes that is in between there is when he's going up to his car, taking all, getting everything off, putting everything in a bag, in a trunk or whatever, and,
Right.
packing everything up and making sure that there's no loose ends to have DNA going all around and stuff like that.
I think so too. Yeah,
You
because
know,
the dog
he
is
put it in the
barking. I
he
don't
put
see
it in
him
the shower
staying in there with.
curtain.
Yeah, the shower curtain. Yeah.
So you don't think there would have been a little bit of blood on the concrete where all this stuff was?
I
Or you think
think
that the
if you
blood
look
was
at again back to the Ukrainian girl stabbed on the train, that guy did not care about the blood dripping off the knife. And if you watch, it's just dripping down off the knife as he down the center aisle of the train, and people are like looking at him. They don't know what's happened. They're right there and they don't even know what's happened. And
right?
and one guy
See,
says,
I'll
"Hey
always,
dude, you're bleeding. You're bleeding." It's like
I'll,
he doesn't realize it's coming off a knife that he used on a girl.
oh wow,
So, but the thing is, that guy on the train, I don't think is a criminology PhD. And
yeah,
if somebody who is like Brian, who's wrote a paper on how to go into a house without bringing your DNA in and how to leave a crime scene without taking the DNA out, I'm sure he probably looked for any opportunity to wipe the knife down. He knows that the knife is, you're using it, now you wipe it off. You use it, you wipe it off. I mean,
Well, you know, guys,
it could have been on
I
his own leg,
I majored in criminal justice, right? I had to write one of those papers. Could I go and commit a crime tonight because I wrote a paper about it? Or could I commit a crime if I fantasize and have this urge for decades on killing someone? There is a difference. So a lot is made on his education, but how much more is made about the psychosis that was going on in his head, fantasizing about this?
right?
You get
Well,
what
and
I'm
what
well,
was
saying?
it? What
you
was the
do have to
subject
stop.
matter? Mhm.
You do have to consider though, if he had not left that DNA, y'all, come on, really? There's so many white Elantras. Would they have ever have put it together
You remember
if
when we
he
were
had
watching
not?
the White Elantra footage after the crime? Remember, I was looking on Google Earth, watching the roads, and you were watching each of the clips. I guess we were watching an edited sequence where they were edited in order. And I was like, okay, he should be coming up to this road now. And if he's heading towards his apartment, he would turn right. Yep, there he goes. He turned right. He's like, we kind of observed that he is heading in the direction of Steptoe Apartments.
But you
Now, is that a
know,
coincidence?
well, let me ask you. So he came. You don't think they went back and looked at the videos of the 23 times he was observed in the area? You don't think that they got him on video at other portions where they
I don't.
could
There's a
track,
good
hey,
chance they
that's
didn't. Maybe they didn't have those videos. Maybe they were gone already. Maybe they have phone pings, but they don't have video.
I mean, we never heard about it, but the 9 a.m. to 9:21 the next morning, that is, how come people can't believe that even in the light, that is a white Elantra?
Right.
Whoa, wait. There's a video of him coming back down the street at 9:21.
What was that? There was that
Yeah,
video. There was a daytime
that was
video by a
here
gas
in the
station,
daytime. Yeah, in the daytime.
but it wasn't. They don't
Uh-uh.
have video of it by the house, by the murder house.
Oh, okay. That's what I.
No, not by the murder house, but that's a video of a white Elantra coming back into town at 9
Oh,
o'clock
okay.
or
Okay.
9:12 to
Okay.
9:21. So
I was like, whoa, how did I miss that video?
You can't tell me that no other camera that they canvassed all around there picked up. There was a dude, Andy Libby, I think his name was, that says he was at his sister's house, probably a half a mile from King Road. And he said he wished he would have had the camera on because he saw the car that night.
Hmm.
He remembers that white Elantra. So if it's that rememberable for somebody who lived there, how rememberable would it be for you seeing it on video? Oh yeah, I remember that car. It was the only car on the road. Could they have made a mistake in identification? Of course. The one car that they identified with the floodlight, that wasn't his car, I don't believe.
Right. And what I do with that one is I just, you toss that one out. You just don't use that. I think even Gray Hughes, when he put his sequence of car shots together, he omitted that one. It's still damning. You watch it, you don't need that one. You don't need that. If that one most likely is not Brian because it's got fog lights, don't look at it and look at all the others. And it's like, well, he's still heading in the direction of Steptoe Apartments.
Well, all this stuff is circumstantial, meaning that all this evidence more likely is true that point to him being involved. It's up to the jury to say, yes, you proved your case, or no, you didn't.
Right.
We didn't get
See,
that.
that's the thing. I don't think that a jury would have given him the firing squad. I don't think there would have been enough to say without a shadow of a doubt he's the one who did it. He deserves death. So that's why I don't understand why. Surely he must have thought that same way, and Ann must have thought that same way. I don't know why they didn't go for it, other than
Because he went out the way he wanted to go out. The way he went out leaves the questions.
Yeah.
And he keeps people talking about it.
Well, what's his name did the same thing, Danny Rowland. They were preparing the jury to come in, and he pled.
Right.
That's a good point, Nina,
so
because
here's
it is like he's saying he's like saying you're not going to tell me what's going to my fate. I'm telling you
Yeah.
what my fate is. I'm going to say this is what I want. Okay. you
Yeah,
give it to me.
I mean, it was his way of controlling the narrative and everything about it. He did it his way.
It's like I always like to say, or the thought that comes to my mind, keep saying it over and over in chat and comments, is that he chose on this night to end 4 beating hearts, and then
Right.
he made an agreement to keep his own beating going, his own heart going.
So why do y'all think he chose that date?
His birthday was not long after, right? Maybe it was a
I
birthday.
mean, I have a theory, but I was going to
What's
ask
your
y'all.
theory, Nina?
His
My
birthday.
My theory is it was the final football game. It was the final party weekend before everybody left for the holidays, and it was the final weekend before everybody left for the holidays before he would have to get his tags done.
Well, I agree with that, but I'm talking about his birthday was not long after that, right?
Yeah,
That's
it's the
that's a big
21st.
birthday present for himself. You see
But
how he looked the morning
I
after?
think he
Jesus,
totally, I think
he
he
looked
totally
like he
went for
got
the
laid.
tag thing.
I agree with that. I can dig that.
And see, the following weekend would have been Thanksgiving weekend, so there wouldn't have been very many people there.
What do you think about that, Jeff? You think it was
Yeah,
symbolic?
that's. Um, I mean the thought about his his license plates and changing the license plates. I mean that surely is something he might have considered. It's like, well, I do the crime with the Pennsylvania license plates, and then soon after get the Washington license plates. If I get
Right.
that far and didn't get caught, I'm home free. I'm done.
Yeah,
They're
because
not going to find
they're
me
looking
anything.
for a car with only one license plate.
Right? They're looking for one license plate and they're looking for another state.
I mean,
I got
if
plenty of
you
time to
look
clean the
at
car too.
if you look at the whole thing, like y'all said earlier, had the knife sheath not been there, would he have ever gotten caught?
That I mean, if you be honest about it, be honest. It that because so many times you've heard me say when we'd watch him sitting there at the hearings and stuff, I'd be like, "Don't you know he's sitting there thinking, damn, I can't believe I missed one little spot." Because he wiped it down. You know what I'm saying? He cleaned it and he wiped it down, and he's sitting there kicking himself in the butt. I would be home free.
Hmm.
You know, but then
But
ask yourself
but
this:
that awesome
how
dude
long would he?
said, oh, I'm sorry. That awesome
No,
dude
go
said
ahead.
there wasn't a little bit of speck of DNA. There was a bunch.
Oh yeah, they said it was a plentiful sample.
Yeah, so he didn't do that good of a job. But I get your point. Had he not dropped it, we wouldn't be having this discussion. It may have went cold.
I think it would have because you've got, come on, how many water launchers?
Now, don't
You
you think
think it,
too?
Especially,
Didn't WSU say that they considered Brian's Elantra, but then they said, "Oh, you guys are looking for an 11 to 13. This is a 15,
yes.
so they'll move on." Now, I wish they just hadn't said the year range. If they'd have just said, or if they'd have just figured, okay, there really is no difference, or very little difference. We were just talking about just the reflectors on the back bumper between the 11 to 13 versus the 14 to 16. They should have just said 11 to 16. And then, even
Yeah.
without the knife sheath, maybe WSU would have said, "We got a 2015 over here. Um, got a driver that
well,
also has bushy
here's the
eyebrows."
question of the hour. Do you believe he would have done it again
Yes.
in Moscow, or do you think he would have waited to get
No.
back home to do it?
No, I think he would have took a cooling down period, and I think, to be honest, I think he would have, if he was gonna do it that soon, I think it would have been in Pennsylvania when he went home.
What do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I hadn't given that much thought, but I assume that if it's true that he was looking for a replacement K bar, it just makes you wonder if he was trying to be ready in case police stormed through the door and said, "Do you have a K bar? Present it. Show it." Yeah. Oh, you got one? Oh, okay. Must not have been you.
Right. You
Was it
think
for
they'll
that
ever
reason, or
find
was
the
it
K
for?
bar? You think they'll ever find the K bar in the clothing, or do you believe he burned the clothes? They
I think
throw,
he would have to reveal where it is.
You
you
go
know,
to the
Themselves or.
abandoned houses.
hey, McDaniel flushed his stuff. I don't think you could flush a K bar, but I think he theoretically could have flushed those clothes somewhere, anywhere. You could pull into McDonald's, go into McDonald's, tear them up into pieces, and flush them down the toilet, and then flush the trash bag down the toilet.
Yeah.
You know?
But then again, I mean, along with my theory of the inverters and everything, of the reason he bought the inverters. If you're in an abandoned barn and an abandoned house and you leave your spare tire and somebody does buy that house years later, they're not going to say, I wonder if that's Coburger's spare tire. I mean, they're just going to ditch it somewhere.
That's a good catch. Nobody talks about that spare being missing.
Yeah, the spare and the inverters.
How did you catch that?
Because I'm good like that.
So
Did
wait,
you
his
know
spare
about-
tire
seriously.
was missing from the
Did
Elantra?
you know the spare tire
Yes.
was missing, Jeff?
Yeah,
No,
yeah, the spare
no.
tire's missing. And I think the reason it's missing is some blood or something got on it and he took it out, because I honestly think that he bought the inverters, and when he went missing those hours or whatever, I think he found an abandoned house out on 95 that is close enough to Moscow that would have those type of trees and that type of foliage that was in the dirt that they did the samples. And because it has to be closer to Moscow than
Well,
Washington.
didn't they find a shovel,
Yeah,
boots,
that's the dirt
goggles,
samples.
goggles?
Yeah, the dirt sample off the shovel, that's what I'm talking about. So I think that he found an abandoned house. He drove his car up into the barn, shut the barn doors, and plugged a floodlight into an inverter, plugged a drill into an inverter, and put, because with the drill, no, listen, with the drill, you can buy the brushes and everything that clean the cars, detail the cars, and then plugged a steamer in, cleaned his car spotless, disassembling it and everything, because nobody's going to be looking for somebody in an abandoned barn. So tell
just
me.
looking online to see what kind of spare tire comes with a 2015 Elantra, and it's not one of those.
It's not a
I've only looked
donut.
at one site. It's not a donut. It's like the actual
No.
size, but
Yeah.
narrower. It's not as wide. And
Yeah,
the first thought as you guys were talking about it, because I don't know that I ever even heard that his spare tire wasn't in the car. But if you had a thought to kidnap a thin girl like Maddie, throw her over your shoulder, throw her into the trunk, wouldn't it be easier to do it if there was no
Yep.
spare tire in there? And
Right.
drive off to Wawa Park and fulfill Ted Bundy fantasies out in the same place where some people think he ditched people. No.
I didn't
But,
ever
I
know
mean-
that the spare tire was missing. I mean, see, I learned something new every day.
And see, here's another thing. What happened to the little old lady that that called the police and told about the guy in the white car that pulled into her driveway on Highway 95 at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, got out
Why
of his
didn't
car
he
and
go
just
to
stood
these
there.
places? Why didn't you go to these places on camera? Me and Jeff were like, no, go over here, go over here, go here.
That place was so fascinating. There was so much to see.
Remember that, Jeff? We're like,
Look,
no.
I got a delivery to Sigma Chi.
Yeah. Really? Wow.
I had a DoorDash delivery to Sigma Chi, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh my God, my brain
Did you
just
order
lit
something
up.
from the Grub Truck?
We're gonna go to Moscow and DoorDash, guys. Every place we
Honey,
drop.
I did it for 6 weeks.
Wow. Did you have
as a matter of
Did you
fact,
run into Molly?
one of the most interesting conversations I had was
I'll be right back.
delivering to a fraternity at Washington State, and they were all out in their lawn chairs and they were partying and everything. And you know me, I'm like, well, y'all, what do y'all think about, And they're like, well, we weren't here during that, but we know about it and everything. And they were like, he is not a wazoo. He's not he doesn't belong here. So here comes like I guess the president or whatever of the fraternity, whoever the head guy is. He's like, we do not discuss this case. And buddy, they shut up like crazy. But it's the shame of it.
Do you believe WSU mom, Kim? Ever?
What?
Do you believe anything she's ever said? Do you think that anything she's ever said coincided with any of the documents, any of the videos, any of the stuff that
No.
we have found out? Do you believe that she was legit
No.
on anything she said?
No.
How about Dot? Do you believe Dot, Jeff?
Dot is not real.
Dot AI, what?
No, Dot is a guy named Braden.
Well, I know that, but do you believe Dot, Jeff? I guess Jeff wandered off. So you don't
He's
believe
probably
Dot
walking his
either?
dog.
So you don't believe WSU mom Kim anything she said?
No, not a word of it.
I mean, Melissa Jade pretty much cleared all that when she had
Honey,
her.
did you watch the 8-hour videos of I watched 3 8-hour videos lives that Melissa Jade did when she was doing them live.
Yeah, I
And
remember.
I mean, Braden was up on the panel and talking about how he's a recovering addict and he had relapsed, and that Brat Norton came in and was giving him money and everything so he could buy his drugs. And I mean, they pretty much squashed every bit of it.
Melissa Jade did a wonderful job on both of them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
I don't know.
but there's so much, I mean, that, and again, it's the little nitpicky things that I think that I pick up on, like the spare tire, the shovel, the dirt, and knowing what kind of trees and everything showed up in it and stuff, and that it was like within so many miles from Moscow, you know, and it's like you try to tell people, and it's like, oh, but what about what WSU Kim said? I'm like, if y'all want to sit there and throw the documents down my throat, then let's talk about the documents,
Yeah.
not what rumor is, or I mean, the asbestos in the house. Everybody's like, why'd the house get tore down? Well, the house got tore down because between the biohazard cleanup of the murders and then the biohazard of the asbestos and the lead paint, there's hardly anything left of the inside of the house.
I guess tomorrow we'll dive into Arctic Fox a little bit, since I do want to know more, not to really shame him in any way, but it is true crime related, right? Either one of you be
That's
available
a,
tomorrow?
that's a hard one.
I know it is. Will either one of you be available tomorrow? Because
I'm
we've been on.
available every 9 unless something happens.
Well, I'm dashing till probably 8, so we'll probably do it after that.
Yeah, if they do another $3 extra delivery, I'm definitely dashing.
Yeah, I'm dashing till about 7:30 or so because it's light longer, and we'll dive into that. We'll get the
I
Idaho
might be.
stuff
I
out
might
of the
be.
way, huh?
I might be. I might be available. I'm not sure. I'll let you know.
Okay.
So,
Because
Jeff,
What's
do
the
you
most you
believe
guys have made doing DoorDash on a day? A day of DoorDash or delivery. What's the most you've made?
150?
yeah, me
That's not
too.
bad. Yeah, I think I did
I mean,
120.
I
That's
can,
about the highest I've gotten.
But that's
if
falling.
I put my mind to it, I can average 700 a week easy.
Jesus.
Right.
But 150 is difficult, man. It's difficult.
That's humping. That's humping.
Yeah, it is.
I think what I
I think
find works best is what's that?
The best YouTube creator, DoorDasher, is T-Rev. I was gonna say T-Rev, and I don't even know him. I think I'm a pretty good
Hey,
dasher. I'm at platinum level, so I think I'm a pretty damn good dasher.
There you go.
I'm telling you right now, though, Gage, if you're seriously thinking about like videoing like T-Rev does, I'd contact them and let them know and get you a
No,
sponsorship.
I have a dash cam, but I haven't been doing it. It's too distracting. I've messed
So,
up orders.
Jeff, do you believe WSU Kim and Dot?
I don't know what to think of either of them. I don't really. None of what either of them has said has factored into what I think
Right.
occurred that night. So it's, I mean, to me, it's just interesting to listen to. Part of me wonders sometimes if you got a mom who is being messed with by, you know, a bunch of young people, like, just tell her this will freak her out, you know, tell her that this is what happened. And I don't know.
Hey,
I don't know
Melissa.
what to think. I think and there's part of me that thinks she really enjoys the notoriety. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, she's a superstar in the whole,
Right,
you
right.
know, thing. I remember Detective John trying to talk her down because
Yeah.
she was like having trouble sleeping, and he's like trying to assure her, it's like, you can rest assured they've got the correct guy. He's in jail. You can sleep well tonight. You don't have
You know,
anything to worry
Dot
about.
was more convincing to me than WSU Mom Kim. I hate to say that out loud, but
But didn't Dot sounded like, remember Large Marge from the Pee Wee Herman movie?
yeah,
That's how I always pictured Dot, is just like, I mean, I just didn't understand why anybody was buying into this. It sounded like an old man, um, or an old woman. I just didn't get it. I didn't buy any of that. When she say things like she saw Xan outside smoking, you know, or in front of the house
no,
in that
she saw
morning,
Dylan,
or
a
Dylan.
black guy. She saw what was that black-haired girl's name? I can't even remember her name now.
Emma, Demetrius, and Dylan.
Yeah, and some red-haired guy and some light-skinned guy or something. I don't know.
You know, isn't that just proof positive right there that it sounds like they chose like Emma and Demetrius to try and pin it on, right? Because they because of their checkered past or their association with crime. Isn't that kind of what we say? Is like, why would the police choose somebody like Brian? Why wouldn't they choose somebody that is like, you know, wasn't there a guy local that was threatening his
Yeah,
wife or something, and you
why
know,
wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you have taken down the local drug dealer, right, Jeff?
taking down the local what?
Demetrius and Emma, why weren't they ever considered informants? You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Nobody ever went into that route, did they?
I don't know,
Oh
but
yeah,
it's my
that's how they got
understanding.
off their.
Didn't Tell me if I remember right, but didn't they? I mean, there was a guy that died that they were um in close proximity to, right? They were with the
Caden Young.
guy. But didn't wasn't it Demetrius and Emma that took the guy to the hospital to try and save him? And I think they did save him. The guy went back out and
Yes.
did a bunch of drugs and died.
Yes.
So I mean, how were Demetrius and
There's two
Emma? I mean, if
reasons. Yeah. That's the two reasons that they got off. Number one was they stayed and did CPR and called 911, which protected them under the Good Samaritan law. So he got sent to the hospital. They saved him. Okay? Because he did not know that the overdose lasts longer than the Narcan. He left against medical advice and went home and went to bed, not realizing he was still overdosing and he died in his sleep.
wow.
So I
So
So
tell you,
that's
it's
the
kind of like
reason.
so I
it's
tell you, though, if you
John
start to
Travolta in
OD
Pulp
and I
Fiction.
save you, I'm not culpable.
Well, I mean, they can't charge him for his death because he made it to the hospital alive. I mean,
Okay,
I know that's. I
but
mean,
I sold you the drugs you're ODing on.
I get that, but and
Right.
this is going to sound really bad, but kudos to them for staying. Do you know how many drug dealers would have left him there and let him lay there and die?
Very, very true. Very true. People do that
I
all the time.
mean, they would have protected themselves and ditched out, and that boy would have laid there and died all alone, overdosing. And I know he ended up dying anyway, but that was because he chose to leave the hospital.
You're right, Melissa. And at the very beginning, I thought it was a fentanyl overdose. I thought all four died of a fentanyl overdose. I really did. I thought, this was an OD.
That's why I say it's a little bit like John Travolta in Pulp Fiction. You remember when Mia
Yeah.
Yeah,
has used his
exactly.
drugs and yeah.
I mean, when he shoved that needle in her chest, that was like Narcan. I mean, all that, all Narcan does is prevent the overdose. It just prevents the death. It doesn't stop the overdose.
That was the
It's a
best
little
part.
black medical book. A little black medical book.
Yeah. I mean, that would have made more sense than the two teams and all that bullshit. I mean, they got a bad batch. All of them used it. They all died in their sleep. But then the stabbing occurred to cover the OD.
Well, if they hadn't been that cocking of the gun,
Damn, what kind of
Doesn't that
ideas are you
sound more
feeding them now?
believable?
12?
Doesn't that sound more believable than the two teams and the flushing of the drugs and all that?
so what do y'all think is going to happen after the $10 million lawsuit?
People
Do
gonna
y'all
get
think things?
You talking about the
Well, I mean,
WSU?
no, the one where the psychic was telling everybody that the Idaho
Oh,
professor
right.
did it, and she got awarded the $10 million. Do
I
y'all
think
think that
I think some defamation suits are on their way. I really do.
yeah, I think that opened up a lot.
There's going to be a lot of YouTubers that are going to have to pay some money, or they're going to jail.
I mean seriously, because I mean, I think today was it today that Christie put out the thing on their page today talking about that she was done with it. She was done with the defamation and everything.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I
Yeah,
was busy today.
but I mean,
Those families, the monetary value is endless, and they have every right to have, because they've had their name drawn. I mean, there's been creators that outright said Steve G did stuff to his own daughter. You know what I mean? I mean, that is just beyond reporting or investigating. That is straight out slander. You know what I mean?
that yeah, and I was glad that that happened. That way, all this stuff. Come on, talking about that Kaylee was prostituting out of the bottom bedroom.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I even
that's not
today heard on
victim.
a live, Kaylee's name was mentioned. Fine. Then she had broken up with Jack. Fine. No, I have no issue. Then to say, and then she was dating, and then she was dating a lot. She was dating a lot of people, and then it's like, really, you had to go there. See, I used
She
to
was
like spaghetti and meatballs.
21.
I don't like it anymore.
She
Yeah,
was 21.
then it never stopped. And you know what? Just because you didn't say it, you had these people on your panel that said it, just like a murderer. He may have not done it, but you were there. You're culpable for it.
And see,
And
that's the reason that I've always been so careful. Like if I say something on your channel, afterwards I'll send you the proof of what I said. Because
what? YouTube could even get sued
yeah,
for allowing it, because I get strikes for the dumbest shit, while all these other channels, they get to say and slander all these people, all in the name of entertainment. YouTube could get sued too. The well is endless at this point. It
How about
really is.
Nina? You had mentioned Harsh earlier. I saw that Harsh had something about the knife sheath and the photo of it on Amazon, and that it was a different shade of brown. Let me ask you: we've all, as dashers, door dashers, and shoppers, especially Walmart, because Walmart is where I did most of my shopping. How many times have you seen images of the product on the app that says this item is in Walmart? And you go look
Amen.
at it, and it is a lot darker or it is a lot brighter.
Amen.
There were times where I couldn't find a bottle of apple juice. I was like, all because of the way the photographer chose to light that bottle. Now it looks different than it does in reality. But I think
Amen, brother.
if I caught what Harsh was trying to say, he was like, well, Well, this knife sheath that's pictured on Amazon is a different shade of brown than what was found. And then talking about the wheel, what shade was it back in 2022?
2022, yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, well, I bought my K-bar and it looks just like the one that the police are showing from the crime scene, and I bought mine not too long after this. I started following this crime, so there's that. And of course, don't want to go look at it. There's a video of it on my channel. Harsh, you could go look at it at any time, and it's right there. So I don't know. It's like,
Preach it, Jeff. Preach it, because I couldn't find pinto beans because on the app, it's them being green,
yeah,
the label being green, but the label is really a light blue or some
But
deviation.
they would rather talk about that than have it explained why the S&P SNP was double in size. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to listen to those kind of explanations. They want to talk about what color was the knife sheath.
and when you say double in size, because I did hear them talking about that recently too. I thought that when you're saying double in size, the reality of it is that it was a text file. That even Ann Taylor confirmed that it was a text file that doubled in size. So you've got
Yes.
a
By the time
sample
it's made
of some
into
right.
yes.
So a text file, I'm sorry, but it can. I think most people know it can grow in size as you add text to it, as in people
Yeah,
that are
it's bioinformatics.
yeah. So I think
And
it's
all it
just
does is go in there and fill in the empty spaces. But what you can't make people understand is when it got to Othram, what they do with it is it's no longer biological, it's analytical then.
explain what you mean by that. What do you mean?
Because the S&P is analytical, it's in a database. It's not
I see what
biological.
you mean.
It's not skin cells. It's not from the body. You know what I'm saying? By the time the S&P is nothing but data.
It's
And what
information
they
that
do is they run it through there in the bioinformatics. If there's a C missing, it goes through there and it fills in all the C's. If there's a G missing, it goes in there and it fills out all the G's until it gets to be a complete S&P. And that's the reason it doubles in size because they add data.
That's how they supposedly got to Brian, right? Because they added his stuff in there, and that's how they got it.
Yeah, because the big thing is, okay, the one clip where she's doing the word salad thing, as I say, when she's talking about nobody knows who done it, nobody knows how it was done because we're not told anything. That's a bunch of bull too, because if y'all remember, Judge ordered for them to present everything that was done concerning the IGG in camera to him. And
Yeah.
then he made an order to let defense come and look at it. Then he did another order allowing defense's experts to come look at it. Then he did another order allowing defense's private investigators to come look at it. So nothing was hidden. The only thing that they could not produce to the judge was the actual S&P. The reason why is because once you have a defendant in the defendant's chair, according to DOJ laws, rules, or whatever, the S&P gets sent back to whoever created it and destroyed. So they couldn't present it because they have to get rid of it once they have somebody under arrest. But they presented the family tree, they presented all their work, all their notes, all their stuff that they had. The only thing they couldn't produce was the actual, because when they're doing the family tree, there's only 3 companies in the United States that does S&Ps, and Othram being number 1. Now, the FBI has the capabilities of doing the genealogy of it because they have genealogical labs in Virginia, California, and Florida. So they can do their own genealogical. But what happens is Othram had to send the file over in a portal. And all they can do is look at that S&P in the portal. And once they get the name or whoever, they get it narrowed down to, then the S&P goes back to Othram and it gets destroyed.
There you have it. There you have it.
Good job, Nina.
Yeah. Jesus.
I mean, but why won't anybody listen to me?
Because that's too logical, Nina. It takes all the excitement out of it. As long as you have questions, you have something to talk about. It's like,
and then you sit there and go, okay, Othram has helped solve 450 cases. They're like the number one right now. Then you have the Idaho State Forensics Lab. Y'all, they're number 13 in the world, not the United States. Their lab is number 13 in the world. Do y'all think they're going to risk all that on Kohberger?
Right.
hey, Jeff, you know about advertising, right? What's the best way to get people to your product? You have to create controversy. So you're going to tell me the new Big Arch or Mac Arch, whatever the new McDonald's sandwich is better than the Whopper?
I tried that.
How are you going to keep me interested?
How are you going to? What do you
How
say?
are you going to keep me
what kind of controversy
coming to that argument? Which is better? I'm going to keep pumping the volume, right? I'm going to make commercials. I'm going to make little jingles. I'm going to do all this, that, and the other to keep people wondering which sandwich is better.
Yeah.
That's all that's happening. I mean, that's all that's happening right now.
Yeah.
It's not even about the case anymore. It's about which burger is better, the McArch or the Whopper.
Well, it comes down to also, Ann Taylor left a void when she left the case or seemingly left the case, and now it's all done, right? And Brian's pled. Man, that sounds good right now, Walt. Meat and 3 sides, Arby's. Yes, I love Arby's. They got onion rings at Arby's. Oh no, it's the curly fries. Man, now I'm hungry.
But just as Jeff's talking about, they want to talk about. Well, dang, I just did a gauge. That thought went right out of my head.
You're thinking of Arby's too, aren't you?
Shut up.
Damn it, Walt. Then we're gonna make a T-shirt that says "Damn it, Walt."
That's hilarious, man. That's hilarious.
What were we just talking about? Oh,
Jeff seems like a meat and 3 sides Arby's guy. Yeah, with a Diet Coke.
With a Diet Coke, yep. It's got to be a Diet Coke in a 16-ounce bottle, cold. That's the only.
Hey, speaking of Arby's, y'all ever DoorDash from Arby's? Like their orders come out quick. Usually, unless they're ordering fish or something like that.
No, I've never done like a food delivery, just like grocery delivery.
So what the heaviest grocery you delivered? The water or the dog food or what?
Yeah, those are the 2 big ones, aren't they? Yeah, you get like 40-pound bag of dog food and
I don't know. I think that 40-pack of water takes it.
Yeah, there was this one guy got like 3 or 4 cases of the 40-pack water. I was like, oh man. And then you get there and it's like up like 4 flights of stairs that are twisting, in an apartment building. Oh man.
You know what? This lady got mad at me because I wouldn't deliver a 40 count because somebody had broke into it, and there was like 3 or 4 missing, and I didn't want to, deliver a broken product, right?
Right.
And she actually got mad. I was like, oh, I should have brought you that disheveled looking 40 count water.
Yeah, you get people that can be really like mean and not very friendly or kind, but then you get the opposite too. I helped a woman she needed snow shovels when we had a big snow coming, and she wanted like 3 snow shovels. I sent her photographs of photos from my phone of that they didn't have the one she wanted, but they had 2 different kinds, and I was recommending the bent handle. And man, she was so appreciative when I got to her house that she like when she ended up being one of my neighbors. She's like 2 houses over from me. I didn't even wasn't even paying attention to the address. And she thanked me, and when I shook her hand and I introduced myself as her neighbor, I felt something in her hand, and then later, she gave me like this $10 tip in cash. Um, but yeah, sometimes people can be really nice and generous
Isn't it a
with what they
trip?
do.
Sometimes you deliver something like 4 blocks away.
Do you ever worry that you're going to deliver to somebody that is really sketchy, and like, do you ever drive away thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm glad I got out of there alive? That person was a little strange. There's
Speaking
only really
of it,
one I can think of, but I remember pulling up the
there,
end of this gravel road, and it's like this tall fence that you can't see over. It's like must be like 10-foot fence. And I'm looking at it on the right. It's like, okay, that's the address I'm looking for. And then I look to my left, and there's a guy standing there. It's like almost like he appeared out of nowhere, and he's just kind of this weird dude. And he's like, yeah, that's my place. He's pointing at the 10-foot fence. And then I'm carrying the stuff, and he's like, can you just put it just inside the fence? And it's like, I'm
you
like,
put the puppy
yeah,
in the
yeah,
basket.
yeah. Puts the lotion on. But man, yeah, he kind of freaked me out a little bit, and yeah,
I delivered to a
I took a
trap
picture of the.
house.
You did what?
I
Oh, you
delivered
wondered
to
if
a
it was a
trap
trap
house.
house? I don't know. No, I think it
I
was just
think
some redneck that was like. Now, when I took a picture of the food, I mean, this is where my mind was. I said, I just got to get a picture of it. I took a picture, and I made sure to get a picture of his vehicle with the license plate in the upper part of the picture, just so that if nobody could find me, if I vanished or disappeared, at least the family could look at my photos and say, "Oh, here's one of his last
right.
pictures. All we got to do is trace that car and find him."
Yeah, he's always taking pictures. We know where to find the evidence.
Right, right.
This house that I was telling you about, bro, it's like I pulled up. It's boarded up. There's broken windows everywhere. The guy sent me a text message. He says, come around to the side of the house, put it through the air conditioner hole. Like, where AC, you put it in the window, right? They have
Uh
a
huh.
slot where those things slide out on both sides. He said, just come to the AC and hand it through the window. I was like, okay. So I walked over there. All I heard was, hey, bro. I was like, hey, how's it going? He's like, just put it through the window. I said, hold on, I got to get a picture of it. So I took a picture, slid it through the window, and took off. I was like, I
Oh
just delivered to
man.
a trap house, man.
Wow.
Put the puppy in the basket. Put the
But
lotion in the basket.
and then you look down and you're like, "Is that a glory hole? So you want me to? Oh, you want to plug that hole? Oh, gotcha. Okay." Yeah, there was a house that I delivered to, and it was like it was going to be my like last one because it was getting dark and it was late, and
Yeah,
but it had to go around the side of the house and come up on the side deck, and they've said to leave it in the kitchen because I had already started to put it in the front door, and so I went around the side, and I had noticed on the front there was like a ramp, one of these real elaborate ramps. I was like, okay, clearly somebody in a wheelchair lives here, and but
yeah.
I'm knocking on the door in the to the kitchen. There's a sliding glass door. Of course, I'm thinking of Idaho and everything. I was like, and then I thought, well, let me try the door, and it was open. So so I started putting the stuff inside the house, and then boom, this door opens, and it is a person in a wheelchair. But it just wasn't a gradual door open. It's like bam. I was like, oh my gosh, it scared the hell out of me.
Did you ever see Breaking Bad? That guy in the wheelchair with the little
Oh yeah, with the
uh,
bell.
bell? Yeah.
Yes,
Ding,
yes.
ding, ding.
What was his name? Sal or something?
Yeah, I don't remember what the guy in the wheelchair's name was, but he couldn't talk. So he'd look at you and be
Yeah.
dinging the bell, and they could like Morse code or something. But thanks
Right.
so much
Right.
for being up here, Jeff. Nina bounced off. I guess her phone died, but if you
Oh,
guys are
okay.
available tomorrow night, we can do this again. We'll definitely
Yeah.
dive
Let me
into
see if
some
I
other.
can. I might be able to. I
All
might have
right.
to
Well,
do it
thanks
from
a
my.
lot, buddy.
I might have to do it from my phone because tonight I did bring my computer back from the office.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
this
that's
new
fine.
job has me taking my computer. It's a full size iMac Pro, but I travel with it like it's a laptop. So I come in a
Right.
big box, set it up. I got to get a laptop.
That's cool.
Hey, maybe we can do
You
like
guys, and
those other YouTubers
you,
do. They can get me a laptop with super chats and all that kind of stuff, and
yeah,
I
there
can
you go.
beg and beg and say
There you
oh,
go.
it's not expected, but we appreciate it. No, please don't
You
say
guys
that.
in chat that came in and left, thank you so much. Those of you that didn't chat, thank you so much for staying. And if you took any screenshots or clips, make sure you got the good stuff. Send it to whoever you want. I don't care. All is fair when your mouth opens and you open it up and you spit out stuff and it's not factual. How can you get mad when somebody talks about it later on? Till next time, my name is 12 Gauge and this is,
12 gauge investigative.
and my guest tonight is,
Jeff
what's your name?
Jeff
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 H.
H. I
Jeff
forgot.
Heish. Not
Heish.
everybody's cup of tea, y'all, but he's welcome here. Maestro, cue that
Good
music.
night, everybody.
And Nina.